Hello, good morning. It's a great weekend coming to your way by television screen and also radio on 97.3 CTFM and on ChannelOne television, broadcasting from number 5 Ula Hanselin at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamado. Every weekend on Saturday from 9 a.m. to midday, we bring you the big issue. We call it the big issue because if the issue is not big, it doesn't make it around this table because we have big brains that would dissect it properly for you. And this week, we have a lot of big stories that we have put on the table that we'll be sharing with you and doing the analysis. Maybe you missed some part of our news in the week, or you want to have a better and further understanding of the issues that have been discussed. This is the platform. Relax, sit back, and enjoy the big issue. I'll let you know how you can join the conversation, and I'll introduce my panelists when we come back. Please stay. Yeah, welcome back. This is a big issue on 97.3 CTFM and on ChannelOne television. So you can join the conversation with our WhatsApp number 0539 986 996, 0539 986 996, or go on X, formerly called Twitter, mention my handle at Umaru Sanda or at City973. Use the hashtag the big issue, and the world will hear what you think. So what are we talking about today? There are three major issues we've put on the table. The first one has to do with a reshuffle that President Mahama has done. It's something that many people have been asking for, a replacement of the two ministers of state and possibly a reshuffling of his government. After 1 year since the passing of Dr. Edward Omani Boama and Honorable Murtala Mohammed, and after the commemorative service was held on Thursday, Friday, the president made an announcement that he has appointed a new minister for defense and also a new minister for environment. Rawlings is back in government. So Dr. Zaato Rawlings becomes minister for environment, subject to approval by the House of Parliament. And then someone you may not have ordinarily expected based on how we do our politics here, Gilbert Ajay, named the Minister for Defense. Who is he? Many people are asking, including the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Isn't it interesting and intriguing that we hear that, and it's all over on social media. So we'll talk about that, the reshuffle. In fact, I want us to have a quick report from our presidential correspondent, Akosia Otri, who summarized for us events relating to the reshuffle.
Calls for a ministerial reshuffle had intensified in recent months, with the minority caucus especially insisting changes within the administration were necessary to improve the government performance, particularly in key sectors.
Minister for Agric just wrote to us. I was just given a copy that he cannot come. That's fine. Eric has been a very dutiful person. I won't begrudge him. But his deputy must be here. The president must be watching. The first reshuffle must happen.
That anticipation culminated in a statement from the presidency announcing a number of ministerial nominations and portfolio reassignments. Among the reassignments is Ahmed Ibrahim, Member of Parliament for Banda since 2009 and former Deputy Minority Whip from 2017 to 2025. He has been moved from his current role as Minister for Local Government to head the Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources. The most anticipated appointment, however, was that of the Minister for Defense. Following the death of Sector Minister Dr. Edward Omani Boama, pressure mounted as growing security concerns along Ghana's borders, particularly developments linked to neighboring Burkina Faso and the killing of military personnel, prompted the minority to intensify its calls for a substantive appointment to the ministry.
That's why I kept on calling that the president should have appointed a defense minister, because by this time, the Minister for Defense should have been on the flight to Burkina with his team. This is not the job of the Interior Minister.
President Mahama has now appointed one of his trusted ministers, Kenneth Gilbert Ajay, as Minister for Defense. He moves from the Ministry of Works and Housing, a position he has held since 2025, having previously served as Deputy Minister for Defense between 2015 and 2017. The president has also nominated Dr. Zaato Rawlings, MP for Klote-Kwole, as Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, following months of calls from sections of the public.
I don't know, I've never spoken to her, never met her. But I'm convinced that that's the kind of politician people should aspire to be. Up till now, And that's why I don't get involved in political sector. I don't know why she's not yet a minister. I hope by saying that I've not destroyed her chances.
Her nomination marks her first cabinet appointment and comes following the death of Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. Her appointment also increases the number of female sector ministers in the Mahama administration from 5 to 6. Also nominated is Majority Leader Mahama Yariga, MP for Boku Central, as Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Ayariga returns to the executive with ministerial experience, having previously served in the Trade, Education, Information, Youth and Sports and Environment ministries. The next step is parliamentary scrutiny for these ministerial appointees. With Parliament currently on recess, the nominations will be taken up by the Appointments Committee when the House reconvenes in October.
So there you have it, the new persons that the president has named and the reshuffling. But it's a very, very mini reshuffle. It wasn't a major reshuffle. You may almost not even feel that there was a reshuffle in the government according to what the president has done. Now, a day prior, the commemorative service was held for the 8 who died through that helicopter crash. Now, while that was happening at the UPSA, members of the New Patriotic Party were on the street demonstrating. They said democracy was under attack and they were demonstrating to protect democracy. Here's a report.
The protesters converged at the car park adjacent to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park before marching through the streets of Accra to the Supreme Court. Carrying placards, they chanted patriotic songs while demanding what they described as an end to political intimidation and selective application of justice. Many participants said they were concerned about what they see as a steady erosion of democratic principles and called on authorities to uphold the rule of law and protect citizens' fundamental freedoms. Leading the march, Minority Leader Alexander Apenyomaken warned that if the situation is not addressed, it could have serious consequences for the country's democratic institutions.
For me, if they don't stop, it will be difficult for the moderates in MPP to also calm the nerves of the extremists when MPP comes to office tomorrow. But is that what we want as a country?
At the Supreme Court, party leaders presented a petition outlining their concerns. The petition was received by the Judicial Secretary on behalf of the Chief Justice.
We believe that this document will not be thrown away, but rather His Lordship and the Judicial Council will take their time, go through the issues that we have raised, and for the sake of our country, for the sake of our democracy, they will advise the government.
I assure you that I'll deliver the documents, and when there is a need for us to respond to you, we shall duly do so.
The party later proceeded to the presidency, where it presented similar petition. At Jubilee House, however, drama unfolded when Alexander Apenyomaken questioned why Nana Yaa Jantuah had been delegated alone to receive the petition on behalf of the presidency.
With great respect to you and without prejudice to your presence, to nominate only you to come amount to disrespecting us as a political party. I'm the leader of the party in Parliament. You have the General Secretary of the party here.
Everybody knows what today is. Today is the day of memorial for the 8th gallant film. And I'm happy that Honorable Leader is saying that I am a nobody. But I want to assure you that I'm a senior member of government and this petition will directly get to the President.
So that's the demonstration by the New Patriotic Party, Democracy Under Attack. They did that on Thursday as well. Now, before that, again, there was another announcement by the government that it had absorbed 2 cedis on the cost of fuel, specifically diesel. This is because the price of diesel was going higher and higher. And the government said it was introducing or taking off 2 cedis on the price of a liter of diesel to cushion Ghanaians. The question is, where is that money coming from, or where that money was originally scheduled to go to? What happens to it? Are we trying to run some of the institutions like the NPA aground by this particular thing, but there's another view that no, we have to protect the consumer. It takes us back to Russia, Ukraine, and now the Strait of Hormuz. Is this government falling on its own dagger? That is one of many questions we have here on the big issue. Like I said, you can join the conversation 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. You can also go on X and mention my handle at Umar Rusanda or at City973. The world will hear what you think. I am Umar Rusanda. Amado, it's great coming your way and good to have you joining us this morning. Let me introduce my guest, and I'll start from my immediate left. Former Member of Parliament for Takwa in the Western region, the Honorable George Mireku Duka served as a member of the Akufo-Addo government. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's not every day I get to see. In fact, I've not seen you on a Saturday morning before.
It's been a while. I joined you once when you were
on radio.
Yes, on radio.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Because TV started 8 years ago.
Yeah,
so it means
and
that
I haven't been here.
Yeah, you have abandoned us.
You did. I think you did.
It's good.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to
and you're looking good.
Thank you so much. Outfit. I went to the Northern Business Fair organized by CTFM and ChannelOne TV, and I got this. So next year, join us at the Northern Business Fair in Tamale.
I will.
Or maybe we should do Western Business Fair.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
I'm sure the Western region has a lot of things to offer.
Lots.
Apart from Acheke, you have other things you offer.
Have you eaten banana in a kind of ampesi form?
No.
Yes, that's a delicacy.
Banana, not plantain.
Not plantain. It's banana.
Interesting. Okay.
From dumping pepesa.
And
you have that delicious, sumptuous meal out of that.
And I think you also have your own version of kente, don't you? Or is it the weaving?
It's a normal.
It's the same normal. Okay. Nice to have you.
Yeah.
Then my very good brother, Dr. Joshua Zaato, Senior Fellow, Africa Policy Lens. You're welcome.
Good morning, man. Good morning. Let me give a quick shout out to all the knights and ladies of Marshall, Accra region, Accra East region. We are having our annual conference today at Our Lady of Divine Mercy Catholic Church at Opongru. I just passed there and I came here. That's why I said I have to go there. Then we are doing some elections, we are doing some program. I was in the mass and I left and came.
Are you running for any office?
No. I'm a baby. I'm a baby.
Okay.
So, and then quickly to say that it's nice to be here today. We are looking at some things, and one of them is very important to me, this reshuffle and the whole thing. And I think that even before that, we have to look at the reputation of Parliament. Parliament has been dealt a reputational big blue.
Oh, how?
Yes. Omar, so look, this is the top of the Daily Guide. It says ex-top boss convicted in US of a 1 million bribery. I'm sure you've heard that story.
Yes.
Yeah. And clearly stated in the evidence, put it that about 1 million cedis or whatever was paid as bribe to members of Parliament. The new majority leader coming out is Agalga, no Balagaga. I know it's a vandal. So in vandals, we believe that the truth stands. The name of Parliament has been besmirched. The name of Parliament has been dragged into disrepute. And listen, the president is all over the country asking investors to come to this country. Don't let those investors take this conviction. And remember, now that it has gone, it means that the judge or the jury believe that those are facts and say that if you want to invest in Ghana, you should come and bribe Parliament. So I will humbly plead that as a way of trying to make sure that you cleanse the name of Parliament, that the new majority leader should work with the minority leader. And I think both of them were in Parliament at the time these allegations were made. Establish an independent body in Parliament to investigate these things. So that at the end of the day, the whole world would know that you can and you should do business with the Parliament of Ghana and that there will be no bribes asked, there will be nothing. If you don't do that, we allow this record to stay. It will forever taint the image of Parliament. And I think that Honorable Agalaga, working with Honorable Alexander Afenjama, they have what it takes to make sure that they do this. And I'm really happy.
But what about the other view that, no, it's not as if members of Parliament were brought on the stand where they were questioned, or the House of Parliament itself has been brought there to come and be questioned. Maybe this is just someone making a statement. It doesn't mean it's true.
Exactly. So that's the more reason why you need what is called an investigation. The more reason why you can then say, okay, names were mentioned, names were dropped. To them, bring those names, to, I think, as part of maybe subpoena, look, whatever you have to do, it is then important. That's the whole point I'm making, that if you leave it hanging there like that, then it is what they have said and the jury bought it. Don't let it stay like that.
So the reputation of
the
Parliament.
reputation of Parliament for me is at stake.
Okay.
Do tell the whole world that the next time the president, remember when you go on the road show, and people know you are coming to tell them to invest, you say the good things.
Yeah.
So investors will not only accept only what you have said, they also look for independent sources, and this is one thing they may take. So if you're an investor that you say, I want to be a fair and a just investor, I don't want to be a bribe giving, then you may think, no, I have something to rectify by Parliament, I won't go. So I think Parliament owes itself, not even the Ghanaian people, the responsibility to exercise the ghost of this bribery scandal from them. If they don't do that, and if they leave it to stay there, it will forever be a stain on their minds and on their institution.
Thank you so much. That's Dr. Zaato's one-piece advice to the House of Parliament. I'm sure Speaker Bagbin, and who likes to protect the institution of Parliament, is listening. And
He's an institutionalist. He believes in the integrity of that house.
We'll see how they will deal with this. Let me start with the demonstration. Unless you want to comment on this matter.
I have no.
You haven't followed it.
I have followed it.
Okay.
Just to say that specific names were mentioned.
Yeah.
Like Kwabena Donko, and all that. And we find ourselves in a situation where in a country, conviction is made in the states, and here it's taken for granted. I mean, where a name has been mentioned about 1 million scandal, and the person is convicted, and specific names have been mentioned how the monies were paid. So we need to kind of deepen it.
Do you remember Mabi and Johnson?
Yeah.
Yes.
It had a ripple effect down here.
Exactly.
A similar thing is happening.
Especially in this environment of oral. So I would think the prophets and the acolytes of oral will take this up and say, listen, hey, we have another opportunity to make sure that the oral thing really bites. To make sure that we really investigate this and let the chips fall they may be. And I'm glad you mentioned the Speaker of Parliament, because he's one person who wants to leave Parliament. One day people will say that, yes, there was once a speaker who believed in this house. This thing shouldn't be left hanging where it's there. So I want to see that happen.
We are watching. We are all watching.
Very well.
The outcome of it.
We'll also be joined by Larry Lance Dogbe. He is editor of the Herald newspaper. Duncan Amo, executive secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. And then Hamza Suhuyini is a member of the NDC communication team. Let me start with Honorable Mireku. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes. Yesterday you joined your party folk on the street to demonstrate. For a person who watched you and wondering, can you summarize why you decided to join the demonstration and why the party decided to organize this demo?
Let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners, and equally great His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his wife. Wherever they are, may they be blessed. And also comment the leaders and organizers of the Democracy Under Attack demonstration, more specifically Cabo.
Anthony Abefa Cabo.
Yes, Anthony. He did marvelously well in getting people together and all that. So I commend him for that job. Yes, I joined the demonstration. I was with them to register my displeasure on the happenings. And I must say that I did that to protect your future, Maru.
Oh, my future?
So, yes.
Why?
For you not to be arrested one day.
Oh.
Under Section 76 of the Electronic Communications Act, which we've taken for granted.
Which one is that? What does that talk about?
It talks about how you communicate electronically and how you can be arrested if false information is given, and matters that are not possibly substantiated, that you just allege that a president has buried 2 cows to come to power. And I take this lightly. And, people are jailed because of making that comment.
Because of unprofessional conduct.
You may say
because of reckless conduct.
But looking back and listening to what people have said before, and how they are even protected, giving them VIP treats, they are kind of discharged. And if people take cue from that, when the NDC was in opposition, how government officials were insulted, how President Akufo-Addo was insulted. And now you come and tell me that because somebody has said 32 cows were buried. He has to be in prison for a year. And that's something you must be worried about. But that has been the trademark.
So should we allow people say things like that and go without?
I mostly say that when you get the opportunity to sit behind the console, you must be careful what you say. I've been preaching about that we need to be discerning enough. Irrespective, we need not also to criminalize, views, dissenting views of something or someone alleging that a president has buried 32 cows and that person is being given 31 year in prison under Section 207 of Act 29.
Punishment is to serve as deterrence. So it will deter other people from saying the president has buried 5 goats.
So what has deterred people from not commenting or commenting on things that have happened before? Like you hear people talk about the government not even having sense enough to even curb galamsey. We have ministers who commented that they did not in any way see the MPP as a credible government, as sensible enough, even mentioned Adodanko Akufo-Addo's name, the president then, that they did not see him as credible. They did not see him as sensible. If somebody could say that, and the person is just left to go scot-free. And somebody just saying that the president buried 32 cows, and she did not even say it from the onset. A pastor allegedly mentioned that. And she just reiterated the point that it's been alleged that the president buried 32 cows before, assuming the realm of power. And if the person is arrested, it's something that we must be worried.
So you protested the arrest of
Kamila Al-Hassan.
Yes. What else did your protest signify?
It tells us that whatever we do, we must ensure that democracy cannot be taken for granted. We've experienced house cleaning in 1979. We experienced a journalist who was just arrested, reported a matter in a Christian Chronicle then. He was just picked up. I remember George Kennan in 1991 when Rawlings was in government. So if some of these things have happened before and we are experiencing within 16 months, no less than 16 people have been arrested on a mere fact of just alleging, you must be worried for the future. Yes.
So you're saying that if you were at the helm of affairs and people say the things they said, they should go scot-free. For instance, if someone says, I'll kill the president, put him in a cocoa sack with his wife and all of those things, you would allow that to go as what? Free speech?
You see, sometimes, Maru, you need to know the pedigree and weigh the impact. You cannot, yes, I will not condone and connive with such comments when it's made by a reputable journalist, when somebody could incite the public. But I'm worried when somebody is even arrested from Sunyani, carried through Kumasi to Accra for him to be prosecuted. Why don't we have courts in Sunyani? Don't we have courts in Kumasi? Why Accra? The rudimental measures that are put in place just to tell them that, yes, we are in government. The exhibition of authority is that is what I tend to kind of dislike. So it's not about somebody saying something that is not professionally accepted or is not acceptable by the general principle or tenets of how we are brought up. The person must not be kind of punished. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is for us to ignore and be serious with the reasons why we're brought into power.
So you think that they are majoring on minor issues?
Very minor, very, very unnecessary issues.
Okay.
That because the youth of this country expected that they'll be working from morning, afternoon till evening, because he told us that
till midnight,
around
till dawn,
whatever, because it's a 24 hours economy. So if 24-hour economy is coming, then we must be serious and expect something meaningful, something impactful. That is what you told us. You didn't tell us that you are going to be arrested if you make a comment. You didn't tell us that you are going to be intimidated when you make a comment. You didn't tell us that anybody at all, if you sit even in your room and you are making fun to your friends, you'll be arrested. I mean, these are kind of very, very flimsy. So sorry for my language, but that is how I see it. Very unnecessary. And going forward, our democracy must be lifted a bit.
You also protested Chairman Wuntumi's jailing. He was jailed under democracy. Which part of the democracy was faulty in that sentence? For which reason you thought that you should demonstrate his conviction?
I feel Wuntumi was persecuted, not prosecuted. Because
you were one of his witnesses?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was. Yeah. Because the assumption was that Wuntumi, guided accoutrements to mine, did illegalities in the mining sector, was into galamsey. That has been the perception. But what is the outcome of the ruling? Is that the concession was given to a third party to reclaim the land, which he should have contacted or consulted the minister responsible for lands and natural resources as enshrined in Act 703.
Which is a law that you were a member of parliament when it was reviewed.
So let me land on that.
Deputy Minister.
So let me land on that.
Okay, let me just introduce the man who is talking on your left, Larry. I thought you
you said you were going to join
no, I just want to introduce. No, Larry. It's
that's
Duncan. Duncan will be joining by Zoom. Yes. Larry, are you Alans or Lance?
Alans.
Alans Dogbe,
Yeah.
not Lance Dogbe.
No.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
He's editor of the Herald newspaper.
Yeah, we know each other.
I know each other. Okay.
Except that we haven't met.
Okay. And then Hamza Suhuyini, brother to deputy minister. Sorry, member of the
you are not wrong. You are not wrong.
I'm not wrong, right?
Because if care is not taken, you may not be able to.
Yeah, they look alike. Just that the brother is more handsome than this one.
And this one is bald. So
why are you throwing more stones at the man?
We are helping to differentiate the Suhuyinis.
The last time it was differentiated.
So you're welcome. So yes, please continue. Continue.
So this is a person who is called before the law that he did not consult for a concession to be transferred, for a reclamation. There was a clear evidence that coconut trees were planted, and they are there. You can go there and see. And that reclamation steps were taken, and you could see that part of the concession has been reclaimed. You is a person who wrote a letter to the then regional minister, Kobiocho Dakumensa, that we have recalcitrants who have invaded my concession. Come and get them arrested. Of which the minister then went with a team of military to get those there arrested. This is an evidence that was tendered before the court.
Let me.
In court.
Yes, he was.
Kobe was in court.
Yes.
Kobe was one of the witnesses.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. You were deputy minister when the law was amended so that the punishment would move from 3 to 5 years to 10 to 20 years, right? Or is it 15 to 20 years rather? No, it's 10 to 20 years. 25 years, 10 to 25 years. At the time you were enacting that law in Parliament, you were specific that if person A is given a concession, only that person has right to mine, and that if any third party should mine, there should be an express letter from the minister responsible for the sector. You were star witness for Chairman Wuntumi in court. You do agree and consider your minister at the time, Lands and Natural Resources, did not write that letter. So the simple fact that that letter was not written before a third party went to do excavation or whatever they were doing amounts to breach of the law, and that's what the judge held.
You quoted the law right.
Yes.
That when you are giving the concession to a third party to mine,
yes,
not to reclaim.
Yes.
So you need to know the difference.
Except that the judge said the reclaim part was an afterthought.
You let me land.
Okay, go ahead.
Beyond reasonable doubt. Where was that proof? That was an afterthought. That wasn't the purpose or the intent of a third party being allowed on the concession was for the reclamation. So if that...
Even though you didn't pay the person for the reclamation. The judge said you didn't pay for reclamation, so it cannot be reclamation.
But he said he was going to plant the coconut trees and that he was going to get the profit out of the yields. Okay. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it depends on the negotiation.
Well,
the person...
I'm sorry to be interjecting, but was it the same guy who went on radio to say that, I mean, the MPP was defending Wontumi, but he has been left hanging, for which reason he felt that he needed to do some plea bargaining?
No, he's not mentioning.
Are you referring to the prosecution witness?
Yes, one of the guys who says that, listen,
no,
he was...
that should be a different case. You
know,
that's
a different,
there was criminal 1 and criminal 4. So I think he went for criminal court 4. Not criminal court 1, which is also still...
That's a different matter.
No, please conclude.
So it's about reclamation. That has not been... There is a lacuna in that law.
So for you, the judgment, the democracy was under attack to the extent that Wontumi was unfairly treated in the trial.
Absolutely. And I am happy we are appealing on that matter.
Another point before
I believe the appeal will suffice.
So they say that you have gone to street protesting against the success of Sedina Tamaklo's appeal, and yet you are appealing Wontumi to go out. How do you marry the two and say that democracy is under attack?
Sedina's case is kind of selective justice if you compare it to Wontumi as you brought it up. Because why? The government itself is even confused. That you take a matter where the judge says your appeal, the submission on the face of your record are contradictory, and therefore the person is convicted or the person is kind of acquitted. Now you come and tell me that you are appealing the matter. That is the prosecution. It's saying, I'm going to appeal the matter. Why? What did you present? Now, the contradictory aspect is that the court has discharged and acquitted Sedina. And you are telling me that the person is still in jail.
Yeah.
Is it not contempt of court? Is it not?
They filed for still prosecution.
But they didn't succeed on that.
They didn't succeed. And you are telling Ghanaians that the person is still in...
They said that when they went to the court had to be reconstituted.
Larry, you wait when I come to you. You wait when I come to you, please.
But is it even an order? Is it a decision of the court?
No, it's not. The court went in recess and never came back to make it. So currently there's nothing before the court.
The prosecution itself is confused. The government is confused. It's a walking contradiction. I mean, walking contradiction. I mean, just telling people that she's in jail. Meanwhile, the court says acquit her. So what are we telling them?
And you're still keeping her.
And you are still keeping her. You get my point.
So that one is democracy under attack.
It is. It is.
After that one, I agree with you.
Yeah, you will agree because what is important and critical is that we must be fair. And I want fairness in whatever we say and whatever we do. I believe Sedina must be imprisoned. I believe so. But you must not pick and choose. I believe the things that she did, and if you look at the charges where monies were sent to a local bank through the mechanism or corporate governance system, in returning the money, Sedina
without an M at the
end. Without M. Sedina then meets a rep of the bank at Batuna filling station to collect the money, a physical money, in a bag without following corporate governance structure. That is something that must not be tolerated in our governance.
Okay. All right.
This alone, out of the 78 charges, could put her behind bars.
Very well.
But selectively, we are saying she has to be exonerated.
Okay. One more issue before I move from you. You went to demonstrate that democracy is under attack, and yet you were allowed to go to the key institutions of our democracy. The Supreme Court was open to you. House of Parliament, if they weren't on recess, would have been open to you. The Jubilee House, which when you were in
We
government...
are now assuming. Assumptions are certain.
No, Parliament House accepts... I'm saying that Parliament House...
But we didn't go there, so
yeah,
that mustn't
But
come
you
in.
had planned to
but
go there.
you are just assuming that you would
Yeah,
have
I'm
gone
assuming
there.
because I know you are a former member of Parliament.
Yeah.
I know you people don't prevent people from coming there to present petitions. And Jubilee House, which when you were in power was a security zone that didn't allow petitions, was open to you. Your opponents say that that's a hypocritical position and that the democracy was too free for you. That
Hamza and his team with a stick. Hamza was holding a stick at that time. They marched to the Jubilee House. Nobody stopped them.
Oh.
And that is not a banner of our demonstration. We mentioned that journalists are being attacked under democracy. Bloggers are being attacked. We said you banning free speech. You are condoning and conniving with irresponsibilities in arrest of Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians.
And a woman was under attack during your demonstration.
Who was attacked?
For coming to collect a petition from you.
How was she attacked? I was there. I was standing
Said
just behind the leader.
Said she was not fit to collect a petition of this magnitude from you people because a mayor Onyobia is a nobody.
I didn't hear that. Actually.
I didn't hear.
But
okay.
What I heard was that we expected somebody that we believe could get to the president as easily as possible, as quickly as possible.
Her staffer was the best person.
We don't know because we don't even know her as an NDC person. Okay. We know her as a CPP person. And we were dealing with the NDC apparently.
Okay, that's fine. Honorable, I'll come back to you.
Intended for the
NDC government.
The platform is for you now,
NDC
so go ahead.
government.
Let me hear from you.
Good morning to you, Muru. Good morning to my brothers.
Good morning, Umaru.
Umaru. But it's the same. I've told you that several. I don't know why you always want to subject me to this strict name rules. But
it's my name. Call me by my name.
Good morning to you.
Umaru. Or call me Sanda and be free.
Well, that's better. Yeah. Good morning to my
Mekiduka likes my name.
Studio, and of course, our cherry viewers out there. I'm going to start from where my brother ended. And that is the Sedina issue. You see, first of all, I listened to my brother and I realized that he ended up saying nothing as far as the Sedina issue is concerned. To be honest, because he's a lawyer. And I was expecting him. Yes, he is. He was my classmate at a point in time, so I know that's what I'm talking about.
Then you ran away to London and left him?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh. I didn't. Makola together.
Okay.
You see, I was expecting discussions to center on the content of the judgment. It is not enough for you to throw accusations of the prosecution to the effect that Sedina took money in a Gual filling station. Total filling station. These were accusations that were thrown by the prosecution. The onus was on the prosecution to substantiate those allegations beyond reasonable doubt. And as a lawyer, if you read that judgment, was the prosecution able to substantiate these allegations beyond reasonable doubt? Because if you read the contents of the appeals court's judgment, it indicated that even after the said date that the prosecution was talking about,
you're not talking of.
You see, I was quiet.
Prosecution beyond reasonable doubt. Sorry to cut in, but I'm asking.
I
just want to clarify that.
Yes.
It's good you've mentioned that.
Yes. Yes, I'll go to the Untumi issue. So, Sanda, now you have made an allegation that she took money in a total filling station. Yet, evidence adduced subsequently suggested that even after the said date, Sedina was still writing letters to the said business group, demanding those payments and interest accruing to those particular payments. And the standard is beyond reasonable doubt. Yet, my brother,
who is a lawyer and ought to know better, sits here and makes references to the prosecution's accusations and proceed to run commentary as though this was proved beyond reasonable doubt, and proceeded to condemn, making references to corporate governance. Have you been able to establish, as a matter of fact, that indeed Sedina took money at the Total Filling Station? Even your AG was not successful, according to the Court of Appeal. 2, you know that when it comes to criminal prosecutions, the onus is on the prosecution to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt. The accused can decide not to say anything. Sedina could have decided not to utter a word, even in her defense. So if you turn the burden of proof, and the burden of proof is supposed to be on the prosecution, if you turn the burden of proof and accuse her of taking money in a Total Filling Station, and now turn around to tell her to disapprove that allegation, that is not the law. That was your Attorney General's version of the law, which is alien to our criminal jurisprudence, and you ought to know that. Because if you read the judgment, that was what happened. You said that you distributed money to market women in Makola. Demonstrate to us that indeed those monies went to them. That was not the responsibility of Sedina, according to our laws. It was the prosecution, led by the Attorney General then, who was supposed to demonstrate to the court that indeed the money didn't go to the people. But Sedina produced people who attested to the fact that indeed they received their money. So when you are doing your demonstrations, let it be rooted in fact. But when he got to, what's the name of the Wuntumi's case, he said, oh, a travesty of justice. They failed to, they could not prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
really?
Because the main person who did the digging of the gold, who engaged in the illegality, was let to go when the beneficial owner, who may not have directly been involved in any way, is rather the one that you went to send to jail. That's the argument.
That is not accurate. That is not accurate. That's why you made references to the Minerals and Mining Act. And most importantly, he was a Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. And he should be conversant with that particular act. One, as a lawyer.
Before I forget, let me just, sorry to cut you.
Okay.
Which one is not accurate?
I'm going to it. If you're a bit patient, you'll get to, you'll know which one.
No, I mean, he asked the specific
now, which one?
That when someone who specifically mined, the person is let to go scot-free. And that one to me is prosecuted. That is the question he posed, if I got it right.
Yeah, those who are not lawyers can ask those questions.
I'm not a lawyer.
So you want to need that
clarification. Yes. But you shouldn't even be interested. You shouldn't be asking because you know the plea bargain.
Please, I'm not learning. I've asked.
He knows the plea bargain. No, it was passed under them. And that law allows what happens to happen.
The use of
did he go
a co-conspirator or alleged co-conspirator to become a star witness.
Absolutely. Do you know the arrangement he had with the prosecution? And also, apart from the plea bargain law, the prosecution decides how to deploy his witnesses and use accused persons against each other to achieve a certain end. It is legal both within the jurisdiction of this country and outside the jurisdiction of this country, where even democracy is advanced.
I know, but the common man would say the guy who stole the food or the thing, you let him go. And
but did you read the judgment?
I have read the judgment.
So the judge did not say that Wontumi did not steal the food.
No,
the judge used
Wontumi's crime is that he owned the concession and he gave it to a third party without written consent of the minister.
That was not the only crime. That's why I'm asking if you read it.
But I have read the crime.
Yeah,
yes, I was in court too.
Sander. The judge used circumstantial evidence.
Yes, to show
that he knows once again
to show that it was
that you can use circumstantial evidence to establish guilt beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
And the judge argued that when she looks at the circumstances, it is difficult to deny the fact that Wontumi entered into that relationship with the said Odu to also benefit from the proceeds of illegal mining. And so he was engaged in illegal mining.
Yes,
through Odu.
I put it to him. I said that the fact that there was no payment.
That is the position. So how is this alien to our laws? Is it that circumstantial evidence cannot be used to establish guilt beyond reasonable doubt.
No,
no. But when you were speaking, I was quiet.
Just
please,
to better
please,
your
please.
point.
Okay.
No, just
Your colleague, so
Then,
he's allowed
my
to
brother.
interject.
He's
so
my,
please,
please,
I've allowed
brother.
interject. Please go ahead.
He said, as part of the judgment, that he never gave a dole or a dowry to Wontumi as part of the proceeds he had from the concession. So Wontumi never had a blade of gold.
Who said that?
It's part of the
Did you see that in the
witness.
judgment?
You mean the man who was doing the reclamation?
Yes.
He said that he
He,
didn't.
the
give
whatever
any-
he might,
he
never gave any gold.
But you memorize the judgment.
And so, but
No, but
you read it because
But it
the
is
man
part.
was
Whether
emphatic.
he was asked,
He
whether
said that
when he was
as part of
cross-examined.
the arrangement, he was meant to mine
And
But-
Yeah.
and pay.
Yes.
And
But-
use
but did he
proceeds of
pay?
it to
Yes.
also
To me.
compensate for the
I
so-called
mean, when he was
reclamation.
cross-examined,
Yes.
he was
But
asked
see,
specifically
Omar,
whether.
Let's
Sorry,
allow it.
sorry
Yes,
to
please.
cut in, but
Please proceed.
go ahead.
So those points needs to be made. But Umar, now on the substantive issue of democracy under attack, you see, this selective amnesia, we must learn as politicians to have principles that goes beyond our association with power. Our principles change when we're in power. And when we go into position, we adopt a new set of principles alien to those we manifested in power.
As you are doing.
And for me, that is worrying. And especially when it comes to that politics, the NPP leads that pack.
Double standards.
Yes.
How so?
And I'll demonstrate to you why. Look, that is not to suggest that when there is evidence of attack on free speech, we shouldn't condemn it. But in this country, those who are arguing that their democracy is under attack, do you remember that somewhere in 2017, Apia Stadium was arrested in Kumasi for insulting Nana Yaa? Because when I was coming, I heard my brother say that insults should not be basis for arrest.
He said it's flimsy.
It's flimsy. What did he say then? Was democracy under attack? Beyond Apia Stadium,
Was it prosecuted?
there was a Power FM station host, something Ohineba or something like that, who was equally arrested for insulting the president. As if that was not enough, another Oko killer went on TikTok and ran all kinds of insults on Nana Yaa Jantuah and Dr. Mahama Baumia. He was remanded in police custody. Then Salamatu Mohammed, a mother of 4 young children, who at the time was frustrated by the economic situation of the country, went live on TikTok and attacked the government and criticized Nana Yaa Jantuah and wondered what the so-called power, spiritual power in the north is doing, because it should have killed the likes of Nana Yaa for subjecting her to such pain and economic hardship. She was arrested. Sami Jemfi, our current National Communications Officer and Chief Executive Officer of the Gold Board, in 2020 was picked up after a UTV program on accusations of peddling falsehood on radio, a political communicator.
What was he arrested?
He was arrested.
At where? When was he
UTV.
prosecuted?
Oh.
Or he was invited?
Oh, you made the point that those arrests are forms. Was that not what you said?
Yeah, yes.
I'm giving you evidence.
He's
Please,
saying
be
that they were
patient.
not prosecuted. In their time, they were not prosecutions and jailing.
Who says that?
Differentiate that.
That's what he
About
said.
the way undergoing prosecution. Have you forgotten even
So
our
who was-
national
who
chairman
was
at the
put
time?
in prison?
Please. Have you forgotten at the time our national chairman, Professor Ampofo, in 2019, had to be in court throughout 2019 to somewhere in 2024 for allegations made against him? That was not democracy under attack. Indeed, your own colleague, Manasseh Azure-Ewini, had to be flown out of this country for simply doing his journalistic work of exposing the government. That was how unsafe this country was and our democracy was under them. My brother, have you forgotten that even the late Ahmed Swale, under our Fourth Republic, was murdered in cold blood for daring to investigate your government? And today, you will tell us that democracy is under attack. Please.
No, you cannot allege. This is a wild
was he not
allegation.
murdered?
But, I mean, under what circumstance? Under what circumstances?
Was
No.
Ahmed Suhuyini murdered or not?
Yeah, but you said for daring to investigate
Yeah.
the crimes of the government.
Absolutely.
You have not proved that.
Proved what?
It's not been proved anywhere that.
But we all know the investigation
You and
he
who
did on
know?
behalf of
You
Anas.
and
You
who
can
know?
pretend as a colleague.
No, I'm
But
saying
you
that.
know that the work he died at the back of the work he did. And that is why it became a subject matter even for the police. About what?
By this point, must be
He was gunned down.
substantiated.
Yeah, but it's not been
Why
proven in
was-
court.
Oh my
Make
goodness.
this
It's not been
Are you
proven.
going-
to
They are very
allow-
wild.
are you going to-
No,
No,
they are
but-
very wild.
But I'm saying that if
are
it's
very
not
wild.
been proven in court and you make it sound as safe,
Omar, you
it's,
can decide to play the semantics as much as you want.
it's not semantics.
But the ordinary Ghanaian knows why the man was killed.
Okay.
The ordinary Ghanaian on the street knows why Ahmed Suhuyini was killed.
Hamza.
That's the truth. And you see, maybe they have forgotten. It became so difficult to a point that even 8 senior high school students or so were dismissed by the Ghana Education Service for simply, according to them, they insulted the President of the Republic of Ghana. Their education came to a standstill. That was not democracy under attack. So when you listen to the NPP today, you begin to wonder their definition of democracy under attack. But you see, for me, I can understand where they are coming from. Perhaps they suspect that their party is struggling. They needed a platform to be able to reorganize and test their relevance within the democratic space. Fair, you can grant them that. But this government will not engage in acts seeking to undermine freedom of speech.
Okay.
That I can assure you. But you see, the most disappointing of all was the statement by the minority leader to the effect that the presidential staffer was unqualified to accept petition. And that because they are the minority in parliament, they should have had 2 or 3 government officials coming to receive the petition. Where is it stated, even in my convention? Where? You see, sometimes in this country, we allow people to get away with so many creations of their own. Where is it stated that under law, he needed 2 or 3 people to receive the petition on behalf of the president? Even I could have been directed by His Excellency the President to go and receive that petition.
He said it would have showed more respect if you.
But Nana Yaa Jantuah is a senior member of government.
We don't know about that.
Oh, you don't know that he's a presidential staffer?
They say she's CPP.
It doesn't matter. But why did they go to NDC headquarters to present the petition?
No.
Is it not the seat of government?
NDC
So if they
government.
wanted to present a petition to the NDC, they should have gone to NDC headquarters. She's an appointee of the state. And indeed, they are talking about being the minority in parliament, so they should have been accorded some respect. Is that not respect? In any case, what are their numbers even in parliament? What are their numbers again?
87.
Can you imagine? So what kind of respect do you need, my brother?
That's a lot. 87 constituencies.
I'm surprised.
Out of what?
Even if it's
And if it,
Even this one is big.
Eh?
yeah.
I mean, how?
No,
why
I
must you say
disagree.
so?
I disagree. They must earn it.
Yes, they've ended
Look at him.
87.
That is a-
There's
look at
a
him.
minority. It's an opposition party.
Such an embarrassing figure.
It's okay.
How?
It's okay. You let's end it there.
You see,
I wanted-
you know,
I'll come back
when
to
they
that.
demonstrated
Mm.
and we sent
A
a
security-
responsible
a head of
deputy chief of staff,
No, you sent the
they
head of-
told us
You sent the head of security to come
that
and
was the
collect it.
Bank of Ghana one.
Ah.
But when they marched to the Jubilee House,
But they also, to be
the
fair, they
deputy,
protest.
the deputy chief of staff,
Mhm.
they told us that we were not respecting them,
But-
and that we were disrespecting
but
them
they were
for
busy-
sending the deputy chief of staff to take that petition.
But they were
and today
busy,
you are telling
they
me
were busy at UPSA doing memorial service. That's
you know,
right.
the inconsistencies.
They were busy at UPSA doing memorial service. Nana Yaa Jantuah was the only one that.
That's another matter I don't want even to talk about.
The memorial service. You don't want to talk about the memorial service. That's why you decided to organize a demonstration on that day. I was-
I'll come back to the two of you. I'll give you one more minute. Let me hear from Dr. Zaato. Doc, the reason to demonstrate, I mean, democracy allows demonstration. Sometimes parties do it to re-energize their base. But again, there's a message that they are sending. And the message they are sending this time around is that the democracy as we know it is under attack. From where you sit as a lecturer, political analyst, what's the status of our democracy? And do they have a point?
Thank you very much. And sometimes I tell my students that when you introduce a concept, you got to define your concepts. Don't assume that I know what you're talking about. define your concept so that I understand where you're coming from, so that I can assess you based on how you think you know it. So the MPP went on a demonstration and they said that democracy was under attack. So what I want to do is to look at what I think are some of the core features of democracy, and then to ask myself, do these things seem to be under attack? Or are there deficits in these issues? Then if there are some deficits in there, then you can say that based on this, then you could say that it's an attack or it's not. If there are no deficits, then you can say, well, those issues do not arise. But before that, I want to make a point. The American Constitution was, I think, written rectified around 1787. A preamble to the American Constitution makes a point that they are working towards a more perfect union. Towards a more perfect union. That Constitution is over 200 years old now, almost. But the Americans still believe that they are working towards a more perfect union. That their union, the United States, is not yet perfect. So, first of all, we must also understand that the democracy we are practicing has to be seen as a process. And that has to be seen that every day, every man, every woman waking up in this country has a role and responsibility to play towards making it more perfect. We must say that. And that so long as we have no reached perfections, there are imperfections in that constitutional journey, in that process, yes, we must all have a duty and a responsibility to work towards that, to get that done. Okay. So yes, I believe that if you do that, then you then begin to ask yourself that democracy, they need to be perfect. And now we need to work on it. It's a continuous exercise. One of the first things I want to look at when you look at the concept of democracy is the independence of the judiciary, judiciary. And that is why one of the basic principles of democracy or governance is this called separation of powers. And you have the three co-equal arms of government. Sometimes we do it. Fourth is the media, seen as the fourth of still holding them together. The day this country removed a sitting chief justice was the day we put a dagger through the heart of our democracy. That singular act threatens our democracy. What it does is that it opens that noble institution, that office, to massive political and partisan interference in the future.
Irrespective of what the Constitution says.
And
whether or not the procedure was gone through.
Mr. Dogbe, do you know that the Nazis killed about 6 million people? Everything they said was legal and fair?
We are not in the Nazi regime.
Do you know that the slave trade? Do you know how many Ghanaians were? Do you know the whole slave trade was fair? Just no, you have asked. See, I'm asking you things. In this country, during the Rawlings school, during the Chema Junior schools, some of the worst human rights that happened in this country happened because the laws at that time allowed it. Just because the law allows you to do it does not mean it's right. Might is not always right.
Our constitution is wrong.
Please, I am just saying that.
Let me hear Dr.
Just because
remove the president. No, but you don't allow him to just.
No, don't worry. I am the one regulating the show. I will decide. No, the two of you are the only two are allowed to interject each other. But please, nobody should. I'm the only one allowed to interject my concerns. Dr. Zaato is my personal project. No.
So thank you. So the day that the Chief Justice was removed, the Chief Justice was the day we literally introduced not only politics, but partisanship, serious partisanship into that office.
How so?
Again, because what you have simply done is that you have now opened the Pandora's box, a door that makes it that any government come inside. And you've heard Mireku, Honorable Dogbe and his people saying that when they come inside, they also
how about the removal of an EC boss?
She's not an equal arm of government.
I beg. Okay, sorry. I beg. Sorry.
I define something. If you don't understand it, tell me, I'll explain to you.
No, I said, he's not a student of politics. That's right.
The Chief Justice is a co-equal arm of government. There are three arms of government.
So you're saying that under no circumstance should any of the heads of the three institutions
I am saying that when you remove that arm and the circumstances by which you do, you permanently bring a lot of damage to that office and you subject it to serious partisanship that happens. That's what I said.
So the separation of powers that you talked about, which
has been permanently damaged by the removal of that person.
So under no circumstance should one leader of any of the three be removed. So we should not remove a Speaker of Parliament, we should not remove the President through impeachment, and we should not remove the Chief Justice.
I have not said that. You can remove them. But I've said that removing this woman and the conditions and circumstances under which she was removed permanently damages the independence of that institution. That is my point.
If a vote of no confidence were passed in Speaker Bagbin and he was removed, would you say the legislature has had a dagger run through it and that is destroyed?
No.
Okay, 1 second. One more question. If a petition is brought for an impeachment of President Mahama, and Parliament goes through the process and impeaches him, like Donald Trump was done against Donald Trump, even though the Senate later overturned it, would you say that there was an attack on democracy?
No.
So why is it that when the Chief Justice, who heads one of the three, is removed, you think that that's an affront
Because
to
that
democracy?
is where we all run to. These two institutions, when they have a problem, that's where they run to seek refuge and to seek justice. That is
so they should not be removed. The head of that institution should not be removed.
I am saying that is where they all run to seek justice and to seek refuge. So when you go to the place where the Parliament goes to seek refuge and the executive goes to seek refuge, and when you remove that person through the process, that you have caused irreparable damage to the independence and integrity of that office. That's my point.
When you mentioned the U.S. Constitution, you talked about the preamble. Our Constitution, the preamble says, "We the people."
Yes.
We the people enacted this law.
Yes.
In there, we included the article that says that when the Chief Justice, who is an independent head of an institution, falters, A, B, C, D is a step to remove them. Do you think that the Constituent Assembly, and by extension the generality of the public of Ghana, who passed this Constitution in 92 to take effect in 93, were wrong?
No.
Okay, continue.
Thank you. So that's number one threat to our democracy. The number two threat to our democracy is currently something that is also happening in the Supreme Court. There's currently somebody's challenging the Supreme Court to change the presidential tenure system. It scares me. Because if that law succeeds, and because it's a court, you don't know how they rule. Because the court, they could just rule to know that, no, yes, the two-term system has been done. If that thing succeeds, it also does an irreparable damage to our democracy. Because
Why?
you see,
the Constitution says that they are the only ones who can interpret the Constitution. So if they say that's what it is, you remember until recently, we all thought that when you are a Speaker of Parliament or you are presiding in Parliament, you don't have a vote. There was a whole debate. Then the Supreme Court pronounced that if you are a Deputy Speaker, you can vote. It has become the law. And even though the lawmaker is Parliament, the Supreme Court also makes laws for us a lot of the times by their judgment. So if they go and decide that based on their reading of the Constitution, and mind you, they are the only one that the Constitution itself says they can interpret. If they say that 2-term or 3-term is possible, how is that fundamentally wrong?
I'm saying, Umar, do you know there's a president, the president of Zimbabwe is, what's his name? Mnangagwa. One of the biggest accusations Mnangagwa has with Robert Mugabe was that he was there forever. He came inside, manipulated the constitution, go to the Supreme Court of Zimbabwe. Today he's almost there forever. You know that, right? Next door to the east here of us is Togo. They are Ademas. They have been ruling forever. They have also been able to go to the Supreme Courts, the laws of this country, to make it for him to be there forever. Then to the west. The west is Cote d'Ivoire.
Alassane Ouattara.
A similar thing. He came and did that. Now, will you say Togo is a democracy? Will you say Zimbabwe is? Will you say here it is? That is what I'm saying. I am not saying it's not the law. I am not saying they don't have the power to interpret the law. I'm not saying they do that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that
I say you're scared. So what
yes, I am scared because if they rule to do it tomorrow,
but maybe they will not. Why are you scared of something they are yet to do?
Because I've just told you that if they maintain it the way it is, then as the Muslim will say, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, but if they don't,
then that's where it scares me.
But allow the law to be tested.
I've not said the law should not be tested. I've not said that.
It's like you are not even happy that it's being tested.
Yes, I'm not even happy that we are entertaining that. I'm not happy that idea is making this.
But that's wrong.
What is wrong? What? It's wrong that I'm not comfortable with something happening.
But you should allow the Constitution.
I'm not saying you shouldn't.
But you say you're scared.
Yes. Because I'm scared of flying, I shouldn't. I'm telling people not to fly.
Okay.
I don't get your point.
No, I don't think you should be scared that the Constitution wants to be tested.
Omar, say you are not scared. I am.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not inviting you to be scared.
The reason I don't want to see because you use it as a fundamental reason to say that the democracy
is I'm saying that if that happens, then what we have come to cherish, even Jerry John Rawlings of Blessed Mongo, even at the height of his power, did not seek to have any interpretations, or nobody saw that. The day that John Rawlings left power is the day that any power-hungry politician in Ghana should know that 2 terms mean 2 terms and leave the office. Right. That is what I'm saying. Number 3. there is increasing criminalization of speech in this country, and it's a threat to our democracy. There's research published, you can see it online. And one of the most credible journalists in this country and researcher and lawyer in this country is a gentleman by the name Mr. Samson Ladiagnani. He has actually published that. These laws, these draconian laws that have been used to jail politicians, to jail commentators, the rate at which they have been used under this regime is huge and it's unprecedented. He used the word unprecedented. Yesterday, we heard that 3 or 4 TikTokers in Senegal were jailed because they insulted or something about their government. The increasing criminalization of social media posts. Mr. Suhuyini said yes, some people were arrested under the previous regime. Yes, they did. It was wrong. But the rate, now people are talking about the rate, the magnitude and the numbers here seems unprecedented. We shouldn't do that.
Comparative to what?
Comparative to what happened under the Nana Yaa administration.
Do we know what happened under Nana Yaa?
People were arrested, TikTokers, people, social media people, media people were arrested. He said that. I am telling you that there is, let me say, for the purpose of this discussion, an independent analysis by Mr.
Can we listen to Dr.
I'm saying there's an independent analysis
by Samson Ladiagnani.
Yes, who says that the rates and the percentage the rates here are unprecedented, and that for me scares me.
Did he give you any numbers?
It scares me because then it means that increasingly,
Zaato doesn't take questions.
He's a researcher. He's a political science lecturer for goodness sake. He's a researcher.
He takes questions from me.
So ask him, did he give you any data?
I'm giving you the data.
Okay, fine. Okay,
no, please. In that write-up, did he give you data? Please, because you are a researcher, you are a lecturer, your students look up to you, so we want to know.
You are doing a comparative analysis. So you said that this is higher. So higher compared to what?
Saying
so
that,
what numbers are we working with?
I'm saying that right now, I can, when I finish, I can Google and give you the number. The exact
I wish you had added
I'm saying that promise not to allow Suhuyini to interject.
I know. Your viewers are there. The viewers are there. Please, dear viewers, you can just check the record by something, and I'm sure they can send it to you. Can give it to us. I have not checked that. I want to use my time.
So when you were preparing for this, you did not know you need that.
And so when that happens, so that's the second thing. Number 4, there's another big threat to democracy, which is the increasing.
Before you even go to number 5, because you quoted a very respected journalist from the Upper East, Samson Ladiagnani, I want to also mention one respected one from Upper East again, Manasseh Azuri-Awini. He said, did democracy matter when you were in power? That's a question he has put to the MPP in relation to the protest. He, as a colleague, was the one who had to run away to South Africa when the Akufo-Addo administration was in power. And he had to have police protection for a number of weeks or months here in Ghana. So how do you juxtapose his position versus...
pursued by government or by individuals?
He didn't his life was threatened. He got a police escort for some time. He actually had to leave the country and go to South Africa. So I just wanted to, did you do a comparative analysis of the two of them?
If you listen to what I said,
yes,
I didn't say that things were perfect when people were. I didn't say that.
Very well.
I said, and I actually acknowledge some of the things he said happened there.
Okay.
But I'm then saying that there is anything that then says that it's getting worse, not better.
Very well.
Without any data.
That's the point I'm making.
Hamza,
you understand? That's the point I'm making.
I'll come back to you. I'll give you opportunity.
Prominent human rights people, especially lawyers, have had to comment and complain about the increasing weaponization of bail in this country.
Okay.
And how it is being used to punish people rather than being something that should secure their human rights. I can quote the Minister of Education, Honorable Aruna Idrisu, having to come, he's a member of the government, to publicly say that no, what you are using, the state's investigative and prosecutorial powers are being used to rather punish people and not to secure their human rights.
Okay.
I can quote Mr. Martin Pebu, whose landmark Supreme Court cases about bail still stands. He, of all people, suffered under this regime.
Okay.
He, of all this, have told us that increasingly the state is punishing and using bail to silence, to punish, and to make sure that people who do not agree with them, and that is wrong. That is wrong. So that is number 4. The number 4 angle on which I said that our democracy and the threat. But the third one, the final one I want to talk about, has to do with what Galamsey. Galamsey has been defined as what's called an existential crisis. What that means that Galamsey will kill all us.
Yeah.
I was on a show with Hamza the morning after this gallant heroes died. Okay. Our water bodies are being poisoned. Our rivers are being poisoned. These patriots were on their way to find a solution to end Galamsey. Probably.
I think they are Democrats, not patriots. Don't mind me.
If they were alive, probably, we would have started winning the Galamsey war. If they were alive, our food would have been less poison. If they were alive, our forests would be a little bit more healthier. But they died, and we dropped the ball. Yesterday at their funeral, or they did within the funeral, one of the widows asked that question. She made that play. She said, what did they die for? I'm trying to summarize it, not very better. That the rivers they were going to protect, did you protect them? You are busy building monuments to their memory. You are busy holding church services to their memory. But what they stood for and what they died for, you make it die. They stood and they fought and they died to save the forest. What have you done to save the forest? They fought, they stood to die to prevent the rivers. What have you done about it? So anybody that says, oh, don't go and demonstrate on the day that we're having a solemn mass, the person should understand this question. The central reason why they died is not for you to have a mass, a solemn service, but it's what? Did you do that?
So you support the demonstration on the same day?
Complete, 100%.
Did you go, by the way?
No, I didn't go. I was teaching. I was looking for bread and butter. People listen.
So you mean that?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that
Because you're looking for bread and butter, but they could have also gone to look for bread. If you believe that the democracy of Ghana was under attack, you would have left your bread and butter too.
That's their problem.
Okay.
They have I have other avenues. Actually, on that morning, I was on another media house doing my part. You know, people do different things.
Okay.
So they were there. And they are doing that, and the Galamsey is killing us. Remember, we say it's an existential crisis. There was a time the Ghana Armed Forces, NAMOS, was going to a Galamsey site. They were attacked by armed men. The commander of NAMOS, Colonel, what's his name? The guy who has been replaced, is actually on record to have said that they had to retreat for fear of their life. Do you know what it means for a colonel of the Ghana Armed Forces, leading soldiers, to tell you that there was so much force coming from unknown people that he had to retreat even though they would have died? That is terrorism.
Okay.
Any force in this country that is bigger than that of the Ghana Armed Forces and forces the Ghana Armed Forces to retreat under fire is terrorism. Maybe Galamsey will kill us all before this democracy thing comes. Maybe the poison waters will kill all of us come. So don't sit here and pretend that you care more about the people who died when you don't care or you don't give a damn about what killed them.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. Zaato. Larry, let me hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll come from the point about this whole thing about democracy being under attack and so on. For me, it's much ado about nothing. I think the MPP is just trying to make itself relevant in this matter. Within the space. It's a party that has come from, government with a lot of, issues to deal with. Key was the friends and family kind of thing that we all saw during the 8-year rule of President Akufo-Addo. We also saw how Galamsey, defeated the country. Water bodies were heavily polluted, and we saw it. One has to just fly, be on a flight and witness the damage that Galamsey was doing to our water bodies. We saw that. We also saw the corruption. We also saw the mismanagement. We also saw how the economy was run down. And that was the reason why the party, the MPP, lost power, embarrassingly. Now, they've been seeking to, make themselves relevant. So even within just few months into President Mahama's administration, they went on demonstration. We saw that.
It's allowed?
Yes, allowed. No doubt about that. And then I think they did another one also where they demonstrated for and on behalf of the Chief Justice. So the former Chief Justice. Indeed, that also formed part of this particular demonstration. It's as though if the lady is not in office, it means that the judiciary cannot run smoothly. But I think she came to meet people in the office and then or that institution, and long after her, or even if she had gone on retirement, or touch wood, if she had passed on, that institution would have still be whatever it is, and even made better. I mean,
But the removal is politically motivated. That's the view. And Zaato holds the view that it's a big blot on our democracy, her removal.
I think that was it a case where she was not subjected to whatever the Constitution says that she should be subjected to?
I don't want to interrupt, so I was saying.
Yeah,
I'll give you one right to interrupt.
She went through a certain procedure. She's been in court several times. High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. ECOWAS Court. And every now and then, the decisions that come out of that, it's there for everybody, to analyze and make sense out of. During this demonstration, we were told that, listen, hey, you know something? If tomorrow there's a change of government, we are going to bring her back. How are you going to bring her back? Would you subject the occupants of that office to the same procedure, or you're going to use a political fiat to just remove the person? Is that what we are going to deal with? That is dangerous. That is rather an attack on democracy. The Constitution, provides the mechanism through which, issues of this nature should be dealt with. And indeed, she was passed through that by prominent lawyers, respected judges or jurists. We saw that. The document is there. For me, I feel that, listen, that whole process, we should take away the in-camera kind of thing, the secrecy surrounding it, and make it public. If, let's say, we can have election petition broadcasted live for everybody to see, some of these proceedings should also be there, so that in the future we prevent the mischief associated with it. Because what we have done is that, listen, at the end of the day, we will have people who will say that we should, this whole thing was done out of political mischief. Now, they talk about the removal of, the Chief Justice. But then when you draw the bit that, hey, listen, how about the removal of Charlotte Osai, the EC boss then? They tell you that, oh, no, that is a different, I'm coming. That's a different platform altogether. And I don't touch that. Do you recall?
Actually, I've not said don't touch that. I've not said no. You
don't say they.
No. Don't say they. There's a point here we have to make, and I've said this. When we say separation of powers, the EC chair, the Commissioner of Human Rights, and those they all fall and I think under what the executive arm of government. They are not a co-equal arm of government. Those two are materially and even legally different. That's the point I'm making.
There's nothing wrong with you even comparing that one to the Chief Justice, because that one was on procurement breaches.
Very well.
See,
and the views were raised by the people, the deputy commissioners.
Strangely, this particular thing also, the removal of Tokonu also had some procurement breaches. Strangely, it also has to do with that as well. Now they talk about people being jailed, here and there, and that TikTokers. And then bloggers and so on and so on, and even journalists. How many journalists have been jailed?
You have been jailed.
Yeah, my case is different altogether. It's a different matter altogether. And anytime you are ready to talk about that, I could come.
So it's not government.
But strangely, they didn't even mention me.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't mention me.
Maybe because your jailing was not similar to what they are calculating.
Yes, they didn't mention me. So, but then they mentioned Camilla. Yes, and said, she just talked about somebody, president burying, cows. And then in that same, Rekuduka didn't mention about the guy who said that he was going to kill, he wanted to kill President Mahama, his wife, and then some MPs.
I didn't mention the pastor who said 32 cows were
I'm not talking about the pastor. I'm telling you about how you failed to mention the guy who said that. I haven't heard the pastor. The pastor hasn't been prosecuted.
You not hear about that.
No. I haven't heard the pastor. Yes, I haven't heard the pastor. I only heard about the lady Camilla who said this thing was done.
It's much expected. So
well expected, but then also you failed to mention the fact that somebody had also said, who was also jailed. He said, here is called Kwame Nkrumah II. He mentioned that President Mahama, MPs, and some others were to be killed.
How many? Nana Yaa, right?
Yeah, Nana Yaa.
Or say your mind.
Or say your mind.
Or say or mind. You heard that one?
Sami Jenfi.
You heard that one too?
I don't know about that.
Oh, thank you.
No, I don't know about that. But I mean, you mentioned this as the person who is supposed to.
Zaato, were you in a choir at any point?
The Vandal choir.
No, we saw him.
The
doing
Vandal choir.
the
Yeah.
Vandal choir.
Only that one. Only that
You
one.
guys got profane, eh?
It's not profane, it's inspirational. Don't
Okay.
attack
No,
vandals.
it's
the
okay.
president of the country is a vandal. If you attack us, you will go to Jubilee House and
Then
answer
they mentioned
questions.
16. They said 16 people.
No, you will jail. Vandals, we don't jail.
They mentioned 16 people.
Let's allow Larry to.
They mentioned 16 people. And through all that, we don't have the list of the 16 people who have gone to jail. They might have mentioned 55.
No, they have been mentioning names.
You have the names, all the 16.
I've seen them publish.
You've seen all the 16.
They mentioned Gordon Asare, they mentioned so many people.
Okay, but Gordon was.
They
Gordon
mentioned Oketechi. They mentioned.
Gordon is a friend.
I can forward the list to him.
Was invited by the OSP. Oketechi, I don't know.
They mentioned Paula Dumochi. They mentioned so. They have a whole list.
OSP.
I can mention Prince Ofori, Prince Ladia Brago, Charity the Detector, Alfred Abebi Okumi, Mahama Aminat. Akosia Sewa Aminat, Kwame Bafo, Abubakar Yakubu, Pastor William Jima, Isaac Boafo. I can mention go on and on.
Thank
So
you.
if you want the list, I can put
No, I'll love to see that. But then in there are no journalists, are there?
Bloggers, TikTokers, journalists.
Who, after they have been arrested, you have the MPP saying that, listen, this is one of our own. They even appoint lawyers. Can I finish? This is one of our own. And then they said, even if what the person said is wrong, must you prosecute? And that is an attack on free speech. Ignoring responsible speech. Okay? Ignoring responsible speech. Then you have party people who are contesting for various positions, storming the court. That one of our own has been arrested. I mean, Mireku, you are a lawyer. And there are more senior lawyers in your party. And when you say that, then after they make that whole argument, they tell you that, you know something, this thing, you should just have ignored it. I mean, if there's a law, why did we put up the law in the first place? Why did we legislate the law in the first place? It's because we fear that something untoward could happen out of some of this irresponsible, conduct. We should ignore it.
But you see,
now I'm coming.
You see,
you
just mentioned me, and I just want to clarify something. Stealing is an offense.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yes, I do.
But taking Omaru's pen without his consent is also a form of stealing.
Exactly.
But do you expect me to be jailed because I've taken Omaru's pen?
No, if Omaru, says that, listen, you have stolen his pen,
there
and
are
then
certain things
an investigation is made that you wrongly appropriated.
Yes, we have the law, but
you
need to, be careful and be cautious about the law equally, because you can't just say somebody is speculating that the president buried 32 cows and you jail the person for a year.
So you're saying the magnitude of the crime should not warrant
that.
Okay, but you agree that she should be punished.
It's a crime. You agree it's a
So
crime.
if it was 1 month, if it was 1
Electronic
month,
Communications Act, you may say so.
Counsel, so if it was 1 month, you wouldn't have a problem. It's a 1 year you have a problem with.
If it was a caution, I wouldn't.
Okay. All right, Larry, please proceed.
See, on the issue of Sedina Tamaklo, first of all, Sedina was convicted in absentia. She never had the opportunity to respond to the allegations that were put before.
Who didn't give her the opportunity?
Oh, I'm coming. The same Sedina you guys had given.
Zaato's hand is up. Yes.
Yeah. There's something about that too. You ran away.
Would you allow me to finish?
He said my hand was up.
Yes, I've granted you. Yes, his hand is up.
You ran away from the courts, telling them they cannot give you justice. And now you came back to seek refuge under the same judges. You see the contradiction, the isolated contradiction. If you didn't believe the same justice system to give you justice, now you are coming to appeal to the same justice system to not give you protection, to not give you relief.
It's like saying that you don't trust the justice system that jailed you for 20 years, but
Yes.
use the same
But
justice
you are going to
system
justice system to overturn that justice
go
system.
and do court of appeal and ask
There's a difference. Here you subject yourself to it. Like for instance, take one to me. He subjected himself to that justice system.
And then
the justice system convicted him.
And then
he's going to the same justice system.
Yeah, but before you went, the people went on the street and said
I'm not talking about the people. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the people.
And use the same system.
Here is one to me.
see.
Here's one to me who says that I believe in the judicial system. He went through it. The system convicted him.
Yes.
Now he's pleading to the same judicial system,
which he doesn't trust.
To have mercy on him.
Okay.
He's now falling on the legs of the same judicial system to have mercy on him.
Okay.
Here is a woman who says that I don't even believe you, I don't even trust you to give me justice, so I won't even come to you.
Very well.
I won't cooperate with you.
Okay.
Now that you're not pleading on them,
you come back.
That is an intent. That is just
okay.
Thank you.
Maru, I think this is completely wrong. That is not what happened. Sedina was granted a medical permission
to leave.
To leave.
Who sought that permission?
She did. And the Attorney General then did not oppose it. They granted her the permission to go. The judge did. We should find out. I know the medical condition that Sedina has, but I'm not permitted to put it here. But she was given a
Where is
medical.
she now? Where is she now?
She's at Insamom. I've not been there, but I've spoken to the lawyer who tells me that she's at Insamom. Okay, so it's not that she fled the country. Her passport was with the court then. The court actually handed her the passport to travel to the US for medical treatment. Now, the claim has been made that if the person hasn't finished the treatment, why would she have to rush here?
Like an Oforiata.
Exactly. I mean, that has been made. I mean, that is something that we can subject to whatever analysis we want to. However, it is not as though she just passed through Togo or went through Cote d'Ivoire and fled the country because she never believed in it. And I'm saying that, listen, whatever conviction that you guys are talking about, it's on the basis of her not responding to this allegation. One of them was this money, this Abachona matter that happened. Do you know that the gentleman that the state used as a prosecution witness, by name said Nana Obuje Asiedu. Said Nana Obuje Asiedu was one of the suspects in the NSS, the first NSS ghost name scandal that amounted to 107 million Ghana cedis. He was one of the suspects in there. He was being prosecuted by the state. This is the gentleman, a criminal suspect, was the one they used as prosecution witness. And guess what he said? He said he went, Sedina kept calling, and then he met with Sedina, and then he, in the company of a certain gentleman called Kwanzaa, they met Sedina alone at Bachona Tota, and then handed over 500,000 Ghana cedis to her alone, single-handedly. You had gone to take a loan from Maslog to run your savings and loans company, and then when there was time for payment, or you are being asked to come and pay, you then went to your bank or the institution you have, and then took the money in Ghana Must Go and handed it over to Sedina in the middle of the night, only Sedina. Then shortly after handing over the money, Maslog kept reminding you that, hey, listen, the money you came to collect, you are supposed to pay us. And you kept telling them that, but Sedina collected the money. I mean, how worse can you operate your financial institution?
So you can't trust that witness?
You can't trust a witness like that. Okay. Looking at his background and looking at the fact that, listen, I mean, these institutions have a certain governance structure.
But you can trust a witness who mind.
I'll come to you.
You can't go in the middle of the night and collect money from your institution and say that you handed it over to Sedina alone in the middle of the night.
Okay. All right.
You get it? For me, I mean, if I'm supposed to be investigating that, or I'm a lawyer, I won't rely on that guy's testimony.
Okay.
However, that is what was done.
So for you, the democracy is not under attack?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. Most of these people who demonstrated, they are friends to President Mahama. They are friends with President Mahama. I've watched a certain video where they kept saying that, even they, one guy said that, this gentleman, Kennedy Japan, says he had spoken to President Mahama over Untumi in the company of Afenyo Markins, and that they felt that the president complained about how Untumi treated him. And also in that same conversation, the president mentioned Abua Papu. Okay, and that the president felt that Untumi didn't treat him well. And they were encouraging Untumi to find a way of getting to President Mahama and speak with him or apologize to him. I've watched some of these videos. I don't know the extent to which it could be believed. However, the fact that Kennedy Japan's closeness to President Mahama is never in doubt. Afenyo Markins, closeness to President Mahama is never in doubt.
I just wanted to pose another
I'll
question.
come.
The question he just asked.
No.
I just wanted to ask him again.
When I come to you, you ask him. You wait.
I
want him to wrap up.
I want that question to be re-asked.
Okay,
please.
ask.
Which one?
Are you saying our democracy is not an attack?
He said no.
I said no. I don't see it like that.
Did you say on this network
that
Iyoko must watch how the showmanship that they are exhibiting in investigating corruption?
I've said that.
Why did you say
I've said that. But I mean, if I said that Iyoko should broaden their whatever,
you didn't say so. I'm quoting you. Avoid showmanship in corruption investigation.
I have said that.
Avoid.
I have said that. But that to me is not a democracy.
So what did you see? What did you see to warrant that statement?
Okay, I said this, that they were being, I mean, when you pick, you ignore business people or certain petitions go before Iyoko, and they ignore that one. And you go to their website and you have the ordinary man who is probably taking 20,000, 50,000 in certain cases. Others are facing cases of, the same institution has been petitioned to investigate cases, running into millions of dollars. And they are sitting down aloof. For me, I think that particular thing is not good enough.
All right.
That is not for me.
Wrap up for me, Larry.
Yes,
anyway,
to me, that is not democracy under attack.
Okay.
It's just individuals or people occupying positions that are supposed to, to broaden their horizon rather than limiting themselves for whatever reason it is.
Thank you, Larry. I'm going to give the two of you 2 minutes right of rebuttal, or you can call it 2 minutes each. From everything that has been said on the table, so we can end this discussion. I'll start with you, Honorable.
Yes, Maru. First of all, let me say that Nana Yaa Jantuah Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, during the time that the 8 students that my brother mentioned, that they were sacked, he came in on the 13th of January 2023 to say that those students mustn't be sacked for just insulting him. So that is the difference between Nana Yaa Jantuah Akufo-Addo and the current president. That he came in to say that don't sack the student. Let them go back to school to study.
Okay.
Secondly, so far, we have witnessed within a year not less than 18 arrests of free speech. What is the meaning of democracy? Ruled by the people. And that is why we have
responsible speech.
That is why we have separated the junta regime from that of democracy. And we've accepted that. We want to deal with democracy. And that is more critical and important to us, that you must allow people to espouse. You must allow dissenting views. You must allow people to freely come out with whatever they want to say. Responsibly, if you may add. However, when some of these kind of comments come out, if you could, as a president, allow the institutional structures to work, why must you arrest somebody from Sunyani, carry him all the way through Kumasi to Accra? Are you allowing institutions to work, or, to quote Larry, showmanship? The exhibit of showmanship, to know that, yes, I'll show you where power lies. Is that what we want as a country? I am surprised that we sit here not to think of tomorrow, but just mention, oh, all is well. I'm surprised, because tomorrow, if it happens, I will come and say that, no, we mustn't allow some of these things to happen. Yeah. I will, and mark my words, I will. So I get surprised when gentlemen of this pedigree sit here and say that, yes, we like what's going on. Get them arrested. Clean the house as it happened in 1979.
Let the blood flow.
Let the blood flow as it happened in 1979.
All right. Thank you. Hamza, 2 minutes.
Sanda, you see, it is difficult to ignore the double standards of the MPP, especially when it comes to matters of this nature. And I say so because, one, because of what my brother Zaato said in his submission. And it is with good reason that I refer to him as a member of the NPP.
Who?
Oh,
Dr. Zaato. Oh, but he is not denied that.
He's not denied it.
He's never
not.
denied.
He's not.
He's a member.
He's
of
not.
in good standing.
Yeah.
And he was instrumental in your recent primaries. You mean the election of your MM? There was an constituency executives. He was
But
because he's going to contest. He's going to contest as parliamentary candidate. Are you aware?
And where he's gotten to, looking at his flair.
Oh, you are not aware that he's a member of the
NPP. If he's, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a member of the NPP. But I don't know about that.
The recent ruling of the Supreme Court in good standard. He's a member of the NPP in good standard. He's contested on the ticket of the NPP for parliament. I'm being honest. He knows. He can't deny. You see, he's quiet.
He doesn't want to interject. He just doesn't want to interject.
No, I gave him one right of interjection. He could exercise if he wishes, but if he doesn't,
you give me 2 minutes to when they're there, right? Will I get?
No, I'm not giving it to you. But you have the right of interjection. I'm giving it to you.
He is a member of the
No,
NPP.
don't be count.
That one is not that. You see,
just allow.
India.
Dr. Zaato, I don't want to say something, but if I say, he will say,
India effort.
This is the second time meeting has so I know where it's coming from. I know the propaganda is. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what we know each other. We know each other. We know each other.
Because I can't protect
Don't
you.
worry. No. I'm fine. I'm fine with you. I can handle you. I can handle him.
Do you have evidence of his good standing state?
Because he doesn't want to say something on this platform.
I can handle Hamza. I can handle Hamza. Don't worry. You go ahead.
So you can't deny.
Hamza, you go ahead.
Okay.
Let's talk about democracy and attack. Let's go.
But I can probe you as to prove that he's a member of the NPP, or I shouldn't prove.
No, he himself is not interested because he knows it.
But Sanda, this thing has been on this platform several times.
But that's why I'm not.
But now
on to the issue.
Okay.
First of all,
it's okay.
you see,
Don't destroy it.
when I listen to my NPP friends, especially the likes of Zaato,
This
and
is what I want.
in their attempt to justify their so-called demonstration, they proceed on the basis of ifs. That tells you the paucity of appreciation of our current democratic dispensation. Because someone of your caliber, if you proceed to defend such an act and you proceed on the basis of ifs.
I have not proceeded on any basis
I'll
of
demonstrate
ifs.
you
No,
how
you
to
will not
proceed
demonstrate to
on the
me.
basis of ifs.
You will not demonstrate to me. I have not
You
done that.
said that if the Supreme Court entertains, if the Supreme Court rules that President Mahama can go to a third term, is that not on the possibility on the
No. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay,
But he wants to be alarmed because when they were in opposition, they chanted that when we come, we'll get the Chief Justice removed.
Okay, let's hear Hamza. Yes.
You see, because they know that what happened yesterday was an exercise in futility. And so they are now grasping around to find reasons to seek to substantiate that useless enterprise they engage in. Wow. That's why they are proceeding on the basis of
thousands and thousands of Ghanaians, and you are telling them it's useless. Whoa.
Who says that every demonstration
That's arrogance. Right there is arrogance.
Wow.
Who says that every
That's the
demonstration
personification of arrogance. That's what power can do to
says
somebody.
that every demonstration, even you...
I'm saying that is what power can do to you. Power has gone to hell. You are telling that thousands of Ghanaians demonstrating says it's what? It's useless.
If you proceed on the basis of ifs,
Indeed.
I mean,
if you proceed on the
surprised.
basis of
imagine?
ifs,
That's the
and
arrogance.
seek to tarnish the image of your country, that's the response you get. Secondly, democracy under attack. When the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, flee from this country, do you have an idea the injurious effect on Ghana's democracy globally? What was your position on the matter?
It's the
You
same
said you
as the
shouldn't come home.
injurious effect that Ferdinand had when he came here and you're about to free him. The same, similar.
Dr. Zaato, I'll give you only one. You've exhausted it.
Do you know how the international media covered that story? Do you know how the international media covered that story? Do you know the headlines that went around with they said Namish?
I think indeed he has to
do I have the
apologize.
Do I have the right?
No,
you need to withdraw and apologize.
Honorable Mireku, look at the reason I will not ask him to withdraw and apologize.
On what? Withdraw what?
That you have said what they engage in is a useless enterprise.
It is.
That's his position of the demonstration.
Yes.
He hasn't insulted the NPP as being useless. He hasn't insulted anybody around here. So I'm restrained. But if you think
I joined the demonstration.
yeah, so he thinks you should withdraw, would you?
No, I won't. Because you see, that is my opinion. That is my verdict
is
on what happened
arrogance
yesterday.
of power.
How is it arrogance of power?
No, I mean, if you say
He
so,
may ask you to withdraw that, but I will not ask you.
He's even allowed to say that. I don't know.
So let's flow.
But you see,
let's flow.
the most important thing is that if you engage in such an exercise and you do not have reasons to support it, that's when you proceed on the basis of ifs.
They have
And that's
reasons.
what my brother.
They've listed the reasons, yeah.
Secondly, I listened to Dr. Zaato reference.
You have 30 seconds.
One of the
no, the two.
with
you
all
get
what you
2
allow them
minutes.
to do.
And you're giving him 7 minutes.
No, because
I was just watching your time.
Because of the two of you are interjecting. You are not even allowing me to make my point.
30 seconds, please conclude.
Oh, please don't do that.
I have
30 seconds again.
You see,
I thought you said you're going to move
what
on.
is happening? What is happening?
But I'm surprised.
Why are you people
Now, how can I be
giving-
giving 2 minutes and you are giving 7 minutes? Is it because you're in power?
Oh my God. You see, they are not even interested in allowing me to speak.
Hamza has a way of hugging time.
Yeah.
He would do this, he would drag it out here 20 minutes, he would
So
still be
you are
here.
now the one dragging it, not me.
I'm telling you, he's having a boxer. He knows how to punch and jab. He will do this 20 minutes, talk about everybody. You watch.
I'm at 30 seconds.
Yeah, so
Still 30.
my brother makes reference to the fact that look, the removal of the Chief Justice constitutes another blot on our democracy, and for that matter, our democracy is under attack. And you asked him a very important question as to whether indeed the removal is one that is sanctioned under our laws. And he was found wanted.
I said
Firmly.
yes. I said yes.
It
I
is.
said yes.
Because you see,
I said yes.
One fundamental essence of democracy is your ability to empower and remove office holders into office. So democracy is not a one-way street. The fundamental pillar is accountability. And accountability requires sometimes that you remove people from office. And it is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution.
Okay.
To the extent that we can remove a Chief Justice, to the extent that we can remove a President, and to the extent that we can remove a Speaker of Parliament. And when those articles are taken into effect and actioned, it is still in line with our democratic principles, unless you are able to prove that indeed it is outside our democratic principles.
Thank you,
And your Chief Justice, the one you seek to defend on this platform,
Not
the one who has been
it's
removed.
not his Chief Justice.
No, he's a lawyer. He said that. So
it's our
when you
Chief
use to
Justice.
appear
The one
before,
you
it
seek-
wasn't-
the
when
one
you used
you
to appear before, when you
The
got
one
the
you seek, the one you seek to defend on this platform
And
has gone even beyond the shores of this
at the
country.
law school.
Huh?
He got him admitted.
To the bar.
The one that he's referring to as your Chief Justice got him admitted at the law school.
Can I the law school? She was the director of the law school.
No, she was.
That's I mean, you know what I'm
You
talking
see, they
about.
have taken a decision.
You see,
It's a strategy.
when-
not
when-
around it. It's okay.
Yes.
You know, Dr. Zaato said something very phenomenal. That I want to.
Honorable.
Doctor said something very phenomenal. But let me. So that
Because you lamented, write it down. Because you
he said
lamented, I want to
something.
do something quickly and come back.
No,
Right,
let
please
me just a minute.
Okay.
No, just a second.
Okay.
Are you
He
allowing
said
him to come on?
that-
No.
If we go on this tangent, if we go on this tangent of just saying by law, tribunals were set, people were shocked by the instruction and under the conduct
and you allow them to
of the
interject.
tribunal. People were shocked.
I want to hear
Are
you
you calling it?
But you are not interested in hearing what I have to say because I was not done speaking.
I want to hear
Let me
you
talk. Let
me hear them.
No, he's not going to allow me. Because he's in power. Allow him.
I allowed you. Didn't Dankanama, you're supposed to be in the studio with us. I don't know. Is it because the 2 CD that has been taken off the diesel things? Warren, you want another one taken off petrol? That's why I didn't join. I want to hear your comment on this before we take a break.
Sandra, good morning and thank you for having me. Indeed, it is not for the two cities, but clearly, I should join next week. All things being equal. I've enjoyed the interesting discussion, and of course, one would say both NPP and DC would have their say, but so would we also have our say as people who do everyday stuff. Is democracy really under attack in Ghana? My personal view would be a no. Democracy really would fall on about 3 or 4 tenets. Democracy generally, I mean, as explained, rule of the people, by the people, and of the people. And so when you have institutions get to work, you don't have any objection, but to sometimes critique the way institutions work. But to lump everything together and say the entire democratic process is under attack, some of us would beg to differ, because I have not yet seen a political opponent of the current government arrested for nothing, just as happens in other places elsewhere. If you know is it the Aung San Suu Kyi or something?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
House arrest. Yes. Lots of places where opposition, Besigwe and all of them.
Peter Besigye.
Besigye. Yes. You hear of these things where clearly, the government of the day decides to clamp down heavily on opposition members, not even because these opposition members have done anything, but simply for being opposition. I have not in Ghana seen or come across an opposition element being just vocal and being targeted by government. No. Most of the cases that you would hear, the cases with Yoko, the cases with the OSP, things that are under investigation. The good thing is that the government doesn't take such a hard stance as to insist that we will not investigate anything, we'll throw you into jail, and there will be no access to you whatsoever. So I do not think that the broader theme that they gave to that whole protest will resonate with ordinary people. Freedom of speech, which is one of the core tenets of democracy, clearly, is also not being attacked as we speak. You can speak your mind, Sanda, which is exactly what your platform is doing this morning, which is exactly what NPP, NDC will do this morning. They will speak their minds. But speaking your mind does not mean infringing on the freedoms or liberties of other people. So it will be out of order if I call Sanda this morning and say, Sanda, you will not live to see tomorrow, right? No matter how friendly that sounds, it comes as a threat. And I think that we should use platforms like yours to continuously engage the people to tell them, look, you can speak your mind, okay? Government wants to construct a new Accra-Kumasi expressway. You can tell the government, look, we are just wasting our money, wasting our time. That is speaking your mind. But where you deviate or move on to say, oh, look, those doing those things, they are fools. They will see what we'll do to them. And the subtle threats that has crept again into our body politics is also alarming. You see a threat from opposition that says the tables will turn and will do things to you. You would hear functionaries sometimes issue those threats. What you are indirectly saying is that, okay, even if we did wrong, or even if adverse findings are made against us, do not go after us, because someday you may not be in power. And if we allow this country to be governed that way, it is not the NPP, NDC that suffers, it is the people. I still do not understand how some people who have held public offices are running away from accountability. Sandra, I thought it would be the hallmark of a political party worth its salt to say that these are the people we gave to serve. This one is being investigated. This one has gone to court. This one has cleared himself. This one has done that. That could also ensure a greater respect for these political actors. But Sanda, as it stands, look, people are running away from accountability. People who held public, funds. If you're a private person and somebody is asking you for how you made your money, you can safely tell them, look, it's none of your business. I have gone to do my job and I have made some money. Unless you can prove that there's some money laundering activity that my account has been engaged in, that again, the law even protects you as a citizen. But people who have held public funds, running away from accountability, hiding behind MPP NDC to say that if you go after people for having misappropriated funds, the tables will turn. I don't think that this is what democracy should mean to opposition. So, Sanda, we'll beg the demonstration, if it is founded on solid grounds or principles, Sanda, we would all join.
Okay.
But if you come and say that democracy is under attack, and for which reason opposition now feels that if you touch any of our members, you are touching democracy, that is not correct. And I think that we should do better. We should educate our people. And then again, even ask those in government today to ensure that they are more transparent, they are accountable to the little taxes that the Ghanaian pays. If they also misbehave and tomorrow there are questions to be answered, I do not think that a political party should say that democracy is under attack. I deviate completely or differ from that position. And so I would hold the same view with my brother Hamza, that this was an exercise in futility, was needless. If there's a reason for which you insist that the law courts have not been fair, in the case of Sedina, in the case of Chairman Wontumi, the same legal processes are being pursued. The Chairman Wontumi case, as I'm told, an appeal has been filed. Sedina has gone, she wins an appeal, and for her appeal to have been won, we say that that was unfair. But the same people who say it's unfair are resorting to the same process of appeal. So if they also get a verdict that says that Chairman Wontumi can be, acquitted, would their position change? I think that there should be some consistencies and standard. That is missing currently.
Thank you so much. Duncan Amoah is Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. I'll take a break. When we return, we'll talk about President Mahama's reshuffle, the performance of the government, and then we'll deal with the 2 cedi levy that has been taken off the price of diesel. Please stay. Yeah, welcome back. This is a big issue on 97.3 CTFM and Channel One Television. I'm Umaru Sandamado, in studio, former Deputy Minister and former MP for Takwa, Honorable George Mireku Duka, also Hamza Suhuyini, member of the NDC communication team, Dr. Joshua Zaato, Senior Fellow, Africa Policy Lens. Hamza Suhuyini, I've mentioned. Duncan Amoah joining us via Zoom. He's Executive Secretary of COPEC, and Larry Alans Dogbe, a journalist editor of the Herald newspaper. Dr. Zaato, I have information for you before we proceed with the discussion. And I know you like to get information from me all the time. Or should I give it to you or should not? The information, should I give it to you?
Is it private? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it after this.
I don't know
what information it is.
So should I give it to you?
Yes, give it to me. Give it to me.
Are you sure? Are you ready?
Yes.
Breathe in, out. Justice Sremsai is Deputy Attorney General.
Oh, wow.
He has written on Facebook. He says the Honorable Attorney General is working with his United States counterparts to bring to book persons who are implicated in the bribery scheme related to the 2014-2017 power plant development contract between a Turkish energy company and the government. This follows Asante Kweku Beko's conviction by a United States federal jury in Brooklyn, New York, on charges of conspiracy to violate the United States Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and other related laws, DAIA. So that is just by way of information.
No,
because you raised it earlier in the show.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I
know Doc, and I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still teaching at the law school. So
that's Justice I.
He says he teaches a course or two.
As Deputy Attorney General,
it's difficult for you to
he has time to go
hanging like that. No, even Prophet Jampo teaches one course too. Some of them find
No, but Deputy AG, you won't have time to do that. Because he's busy
I think he does.
He's busy prosecuting people under aura. You think he will?
Yeah, no, and I think he still does. And that's why, look, Prof. Jantuah has done a whole shipping line. He still teaches one course on campus. It's difficult sometimes to let your students
So you
go.
too, if MPP wins and they give you appointment, you will be teaching.
If they say and they make Chief Justice, I'll still be teaching one course. I want Chief Justice.
You want Chief Justice?
Yes.
But you're not a lawyer.
So I'll send Hamza to jail. Oh, you go jail.
Don't do that.
No, you go.
Hamza is
It
your
is
brother.
choppy. He doesn't give me every day.
He hasn't done anything. He
will
will
go to jail.
I'm not chopping. Because in the end, we don't chop.
Tomorrow,
Yes.
this message,
Yes.
it's easier said than done, because the same government mentioned that their regional organizer was being investigated under Galamsey, and we're going to see something done. As of now, what's the update on the matter?
Okay.
So just saying that we're
You
going
don't-
to.
you don't believe
I
it,
mean, no.
No, as a matter
It's
of
still a
fact,
storm in a teacup.
Even the Beckun thing. When I was coming, I heard him and then Zaato talk about it. See, they shouldn't be too excited. What I have heard is that the bribery or the offer of a bribe cuts across both political parties. MPP is deeply involved, and so is the NDC.
You
So-
are dancing around
so-
the
so-
issues.
so-
we are told that it was even as a result of his contributions, as a result of that particular deal, that earned him that appointment.
The
at the
appointment,
NPP.
okay.
As Tor MD.
As Tor MD.
So
And
that's
so
when I
His
said-
Excellency President Nana Yaa Jantuah.
So it's dirtier than
Good.
I mean,
So
we
that's what I'm
yes,
saying.
yes.
So
So
somebody
we
is
should-
running away
we
from
should-
accountability.
we should
So
be
be it.
careful.
So
We
be
should
it.
be
So
careful.
Larry, you heard me.
So
I
be
didn't
it.
say- I said that. I was saying food.
On my way to I listened to you. I said, well, I don't disagree with you in principle.
He did have some of the
As
names,
far as
but I
yes.
can't mention them here.
Okay.
I don't disagree
So
with
you-
you in
you-
principle.
let's-
And I
let's-
think
let's
that
move.
that investigation ought to be
okay,
done.
Hamas,
You
yes.
understand? Names like okay, I also hold my tongue from mentioning the names.
But
let's leave
it's
it.
good.
You let's leave it here.
I'll
Let
hold
me
my
go
tongue.
to
I'll
the next
mention the
topic.
name.
We are
But
looking at Mahama's
it's gonna
first-
be
We need to
interesting.
avoid selective justice.
Yes.
Yes,
President-
I wanted 1 minute for something.
Okay.
See, this said Natameklo thing. The gentleman, her co-accused person, Daniel Azim. Azim was granted bail pending appeal by
Yes.
the Supreme Court
Yes.
somewhere in January, and it's on the same conviction.
Would it be the Supreme Court? It would be the Court of Appeal.
No,
maybe.
the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, because the Court of Appeal wasn't ready with the records.
Okay.
So that same conviction by Justice Sewa,
Yes.
yes,
Efia Sewa.
exactly. I mean, Supreme Court had made pronouncements on it, saying that, listen, there's supposed to be a bill pending an appeal that has been recognized, and then then the Court of Appeal comes in and quashes that judgment, saying that said Natameklo should be set free. Maybe we should, journalists as we are, we should go behind all this and try to speak to some of the actors involved. Dummy, if he did a good job, or said Natameklo's lawyers if they did a good job, or Azim's lawyer, Augustine Obo, if he also what he thinks of it.
Okay.
Then maybe we can be helping the states better. Then we can get people to appreciate the democracy and whether or not it's under attack.
Okay. Dr. Zaato, would you want to start off for us on Mahama's first reshuffle, performance, politics, or preparations for the next phase?
Thank you. As I said, some of the movements were not surprising. I think that something tells me that President Mahama had a very strong bond with the defense minister. That's why he left that seat alone for 1 year, because no president will want to go without a defense minister for that long. The only justifiable reason is that personal connection. He's finally done it, so that's it. I would have personally said we shouldn't have done that, because if you look at the region we are in and all the instability in there, that have done it. Good.
But the finance minister was acting as defense minister.
Finance and defense. There are 4 reserve powers, and finance is one of the reserve powers. So to add that, maybe that's okay. Let's go back to. There's one movement that I'm not surprised it happened, and that is the majority leader. I mean, if you watch Parliament, you saw his departure on the walls. It was very clear.
Based on what?
The first thing I want us to base on was the OSP bill.
Okay.
It was the leadership of the House that publicly announced they were coming out with a bill to abolish the OSP. It took the intervention of the president to say, don't do that. And they stopped. For me, I want to believe that this is a very powerful guardrail against corruption. And in fact, it's doing some of the works that oral says they will do. So to sit in parliament, draft a bill, or even suggest, and in fact, you have finished drafting the bill to remove or to abolish such a powerful office, at least without the buy-in of the president, it took the president to come to, I think that was a serious thing. That's number one. Number two, when it came to the LGBTQ bill, it was the majority leader who said that, oh, there was no need to do a new bill. Then the president came out and said, no, the old bill died. We need a new bill. Then it is the majority leader who said that he has passed the bill. But now the Speaker of Parliament is telling everybody they've not passed the bill. So we are now waiting to pass a bill. That doesn't show competence. That doesn't show confidence from as a majority leader, because the basic thing you've done to pass the bill, you're dropping the ball. 3, the tribunal bill. It was passed. Then you said, we've passed, we are done with it. The opposition cried, other people cried, CSOs, and even TUC cried. Then you took it and you passed it again. Now, I'm not the I don't, you are a general, probably you've seen the number of times bills have been said to be passed and then taken back to be passed again. That doesn't also bode confidence in the leadership of that house. So for me, I believe that this in all these cases, the majority leader did not exude confidence. He did not exude the kind of things that he had everything under control, and he dropped the ball on all these occasions. So his firing I'm not surprised about it.
It's not fired. It's almost like a promotion, no?
I don't know which is it. Let me say he was fired from his current position.
Yeah, it's a promotion. It's going to be
yes, he was removed from his current position. I'm not surprised. Let me just say, being removed from parliament, I'm not surprised based on these 3 things.
Okay.
And even right now, you still know that the relationship, it means that the relationship between the majority leader and the speaker deteriorated. The speaker promised the national chief imam that he was going to pass the LGBT before they left. They didn't do that. So I'm sure when they come back, maybe with a Honorable Agalga coming to the house, maybe I think they will pass it again. That will be 2 bills that they have passed and repassed. That then goes to confirm that the arguments from the minority leader that most of these were rushed because you have the powers, then seems to have some value, some substance, because we could have dismissed that as minority always crying because of time. But if on both occasions they've asked that these bills were rushed, you dismiss it, only to bring them back, it gives them some credibility. And I've also talked about what I think should be one of the biggest leadership challenges for the new incoming majority leader, that he needs to help that and let the chips fall wherever they may be. Because one of the biggest threats to our democracy is foreign money, foreign businesses coming in and trying to what? Buy or take away the influence, take away the moral fabric of our party. In some states, in South America, Colombia and all those places, it's foreign narco states, people with money, drug monies, who come inside and literally what? Blackmail or compromise all powerful institutions of the state, and we've seen what they have to deal with. For years, people have talked about the role and the influence of foreign money in our democracy. If you look at the numbers that CDD churns out, and how many people have to raise. So my point is that we now have a very good moment. We have a teachable moment, or we have a coming to Jesus moment, as I would like to put it. To finally say, guys, let's sit down.
You're a Mashalan.
Yes, sir. We have already, are you a Mashalan too?
No,
we have our regular conference today at the Congress. We now have a chance to say, okay, look, we've been hearing these things. Let it not be said in the London Business Club or New York Business Club or any of these powerful investment destinations that in Ghana, if you want a business there, get money, bribe MPs, and they will give you. It shouldn't be said that.
Okay.
The only way we can do that is I pray and hope that the leadership of the House, the new leadership, here and the old one, together with the Speaker, consider and say, let's investigate this. And as Larry says, let the chips fall wherever they may. Whoever benefited, let them be exposed. Because even in the international community, naming and shaming is a recognized tool of correcting societal ills.
Okay.
If that happens, then Vandal Agalga would have gone down as one of the best majority leaders who used his position to help, for want of a better word, cleanse the house.
Larry.
Yeah, on the reshuffle. I think I expected something larger. Okay, this is beginning to look like a Akufo-Addo type of reshuffle, where you pay.
It's not doing.
No, it's not thorough. Yeah, particularly when we had ministers who had gone in for awards, in recent times, saying they are they are the they are the best, and they are telling us that it's well deserved, awards that they got. So for me,
I thought it should have been a bit extensive.
Yeah, it should have been extensive.
Few more people should have.
I think so.
At least Hamza should have gotten one. Sorry for you.
Yeah,
Should have gotten one.
I think so.
Ministerial
we all agree that he should have gotten a ministerial position.
No, his brother is already there, so
It doesn't matter.
maybe.
He's equally competent.
No, I mean that his competence is not in doubt.
Okay, the man has. Let's leave him, please. Let's leave him.
Hamza, we are sorry.
I'm just I'm voting for you and I'm cheering for you. Okay.
You know, so
Provided we are not destroying his
chances. I expected something extensive. Okay, there are certain areas that I mean should have been touched. But maybe we are not in the president's mind. He knows what he's doing.
Which minister would you have wanted to see get out of government?
I think that Greater Accra, I mean, something better is expected.
You don't want Linda Okulu to continue.
I mean, look at this is the city. You need a
By the way, she doesn't know who the defense minister is.
She doesn't know?
Yeah. Zaato, you've seen the video. Please tell Larry what you saw.
She didn't, and at that time she was playing football or getting ready to play football, and somebody was now briefing her. So
she didn't know who
at that time.
Okay,
but now she knows.
For Ken going to that ministry, it's a ministry he's been before, and long before this, I had heard that he was the guy that the president had penciled to take over that ministry. We even did a story on it sometime about 3 or 4 months back, you know, and also we talked about how the president had, you know, virtually. Out of respect for Omani, respect for Murtala, and so on, has kept those positions intact, so that after the 1 year he will do the selection. So, well, let's see what they bring for the movement of
Dr. Zaato joining government.
Yes, I mean, she's been a doctor for some years now, and we've seen her, you know, and been a parliamentarian too for how many terms? I think there's 3 terms and so on. So she seems to have something to offer. Let's see what she can do. Okay. I mean, having her father's legacy, her mother's legacy.
I could say that I don't think you would mind.
Zaato.
I don't think you would mind.
I might actually.
I was saying that she could use the father's zeal to help with the Galamsey fight. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, that's good. Thank you. That's a good intervention.
So you want her to what? Use brute force to
slapping people?
Or what do you mean by the father's? Now I want to know, what do you mean?
The principles that the father stood for.
Probity, accountability, and social justice.
Yes.
Okay.
She can use that. Okay. And because she's Rollins's daughter, let's say that the big wigs that we are told have invaded the Galamsey space.
So she should go and get them out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Umaru, I mean, in her case in particular, I mean, people have been asking how come she wasn't made a minister. They thought that she was even going to be a deputy minister for health, you know, and that didn't come. Now, during this whole vacuum, she was also linked to the defense ministry position also. That didn't come either. And today she's been made Minister for Environment. She's been around the Kole Lagoon area and then her constituency, visiting people who have had issues with flood here and there, environmental issues and so on. I think that she has the finest opportunity to justify her inclusion. And then we go. Now, with Ayariga, his movement has been surprising because I mean, he's performed excellently.
You think he's doing a good job?
Yeah, I think
he shouldn't have gone.
No, I mean, with the kind of heat, you know, that Afanyomaki is giving every now and then, you know, how do you call it?
To match him, eh?
Yeah, the mighty minority, or what? How do you call it?
Don't be mischief.
Oh, he wanted you to help him.
He's just being mischievous.
So no, he wanted to know whether it's mighty minority or micro minority.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Whichever one it is. So I thought that, I mean, he's been doing well. Moving him to the local government ministry and moving Ahmed from the local government ministry.
To West.
I don't want to believe, you know, something, whether on, you know, it's okay. Let it go.
Oh, but look at, you have been in parliament with these people before. You've seen their movements. Any surprises? Any impressions?
Yeah, let me say the Kenneth Gilbert Eche, if I got the name right. Yeah, is kind of
affable.
I don't know him personally.
I know him.
I've not met him before.
Yes.
And his name is also kind of alien to even the NDC members, including the Greater Accra Regional Minister. He said, some Kennedy J, if I may quote her from the video you talked about. So,
it's in an MP.
so
No,
he's not. I expected him to have excelled in the Works and Housing Ministry. We didn't hear of him. He spent almost a year and a half there, and maybe monitored once he's moved to very sensitive ministry like defense. I don't know him. I don't want to talk about him. I've not heard anything bad about him as well. So I wouldn't want to kind of say things that I don't know. With Ibrahim Ahmed, I know him very well. Very versatile guy, a hardworking, in that manner. But this is a spine of Asiedu Nketia that has been broken.
Oh.
Yes, because he's the Asiedu Nketia's guy in the government, and I think they feel that he, being at the local government ministry, is getting too powerful, for Asiedu Nketia as the primaries get closer. So let's get him out to weaken Asiedu Nketia. Is the reason they've gotten him out to Works and Housing. You go and clean the gutters and make sure your boss is put somewhere. So that is done to kind of, weaken Asiedu Nketia. So you may like or dislike it, but that's the truth. Asiedu Nketia is being worked on. If you want to be the president, we don't want you to be the candidate to get there. I don't know, but that's the truth. So that's for them it's their matter to worry about.
Do you think that the reshuffle should have been bigger? And before you answer this, you served in Akufo-Addo's government.
Yeah.
So do you think it should have been a bigger reshuffle?
Yeah, with a reshuffle, it depends on the president. He's the coach, so he knows where to touch. But it's the same old wine,
new bottle.
In some bottles that are leaking. So I can't even vouch for the defense minister. Yeah, putting wine in a appetition bottle.
You're sitting by two very good Muslims.
They don't drink appetition. Yeah. Okay.
It is haram. Very big haram. No, it's okay. Dr. Zaato will drink on our behalf.
Agree.
Okay. But you drink beer, not appetition.
No, I'm not done. With the majority leader, Agariga is a fine gentleman. He's really deep. He's my friend. I know him very well, and I can vouch for.
A good lawyer.
A very good lawyer as well. I've been with him for long, and I cannot sit here and say because he's an NDC. So I'm sure he's going to be a good leader. As for, I'm surprised about Mahama's Mahama Ayariga, movement from parliament to local government. I don't know whether he will be able to fit it into that, because I don't see him as a local person to be even a local government minister. I don't see him as such. How is he going to relate and resonate with the grassroots? Because if you're a local government minister and you understand the concept of local governance, I have been a municipal chief executive before. Okay. I've worked at the Ministry of Local Government before. So I know how it works, the dynamics of the ministry. And I don't think, maybe he may prove me wrong, but we need a very local person who resonates.
What do you mean by local person? So how unlocal is he?
To come down to the level of the ordinary Ghanaian.
He's down, no?
No, he's up there as a member of parliament who understands the innuendos and rudiments of parliament, but not necessarily a local ground politician like Ahmed.
Okay.
So if you want to know the difference, compare him to Ahmed.
Mahama Ayariga has been a party executive before. Hamza, has he ever been a party executive?
I don't think so. I've not seen him. No, okay. I don't think so.
But he's been in parliament for how many years?
Since
he goes down there to campaign all the time. Yeah.
But being a member of parliament and being a local government minister
is different.
That
he has served as minister for environment before. He's been minister for information.
You can be a minister for environment. You can be the minister for finance. You can be the minister for defense.
Local government is
interior.
different.
Local government is different,
Very
my
well.
brother.
Thank you.
He wasn't your friend when you were in parliament?
A very good friend of mine. That is why I can talk about him. Ayariga. Ask him.
Let me hear him.
A very good friend of mine.
Mr. Sander, it is important to state that this reshuffle is one that gives hope. One that clearly.
You see, we are all laughing.
But no. Now
Where is the
explain
hope
why
coming
it
from?
gives hope. You see, for you to appreciate the extent of this reshuffle, you need to pay close attention to the character of His Excellency President Mahama and juxtapose that as against the promises the NDC made in opposition. My brother sought to give an excuse as to why it had to take this long for the Ministry of Defense and Environment to be fulfilled. And I think that he got it wrong. It was not intended as an honor to the memory of the late Dr. Omane Boamah and Murtala Mohammed. When you promise a reset and proceed at the back of that to indicate your willingness to reduce the number of ministers, the surest way that governments introduce change is through action or inaction. And so if you look at the action President Mahama signaled with the appointment of about 50 ministers, it was quite in tandem with the promises the NDC made in opposition. Now, the inaction bit of leaving those portfolios for close to 1 year was also another way of pushing debates as to whether, indeed, as a country, we could even have situations where we can reduce further the number of ministers. Because for 1 good year, without the minister responsible for environment and without the minister responsible for defense, we had the caretaker ministries. And those ministries were running seamlessly. So one way to assess the impact of decisions, especially from somebody like His Excellency President Mahama, is to pay close attention to his actions and inactions. Unfortunately, as a republic, we missed that inaction part and the opportunity for us to begin to have even a discourse as to whether indeed some of these ministries, the numbers that we are dealing with are numbers we can still cut down further. For me, that was one important signal I got from the delay. Because Minister of Defense was running with a deputy minister. Minister of Environment was running seamlessly with a caretaker minister. And so these are the questions we should ask. Whether indeed, if we look at the number of ministers, something still could be done about it. And whether some ministries could actually even be merged. For instance, Minister of Finance as against Minister of Defense. Are these discussions we can have? But the nation missed that opportunity. And that's signaling.
Okay. No, I'm not getting that one. I'm not getting that one.
Oh.
No, I'm not getting
Which one are you not getting?
That.
To cut down the number of ministries. That's what
Have you considered the cost?
Oh,
because as of now, the
costs
costs assigned to the current ministers and that of Akufo-Addo, the current one is higher.
That's not accurate.
You just check. Check your facts. I'm giving you.
No. Let me make my point. In fact, let me make my point. That's
I should keep quiet for him. But the cost.
Sandra, Umaru. Can you at least
strategically appointed?
Can you at least check?
I was not paid as a minister.
Former deputy minister.
I was not paid as a minister.
Former deputy minister.
Yes.
You see,
do you have any figure to show that this government has
I will provide you the figure. I didn't know he was coming to slot in.
Can I?
No, after the show.
And you see, that is why I make the point that this reshuffle.
I'll get it for you now.
And maybe you didn't understand. That's why you were laughing. This reshuffle signals hope. Hope in such a way that important signal, we lost it. But the time has come for us to begin to have those discussions. Secondly, the introduction of the Honorable Mahama Ayariga. I disagree with my brother when he sought to question his performance in Parliament as majority leader. As a member of the National Democratic Congress, and as someone who has had the opportunity of working closely with him, even at the time I was NUC's president and he was Deputy Education Minister, I can tell you with certainty that he's one meticulous politician in this country that you will struggle to beat, especially when it comes to his job. Always on the move.
Even at the time he was deputy minister in charge of tertiary, the Honorable Ayerga moved from region to region interacting with senior high schools. He is not an appointee who warms chairs. He's never been. And as a political party, we are so excited in terms of the legacy he's leaving behind in parliament, because he was able to effectively match and, in fact, check the likes of Afenyo Markin as a senior parliamentarian. And when we woke up and were told that he's been moved away from parliament, indeed, any true NDC member will tell you that even today, there's cloud of suspicion in a way around our senior comrade James Agaga, wondering if he would be able to fill the shoes that Ayerga.
Considering who he's going against as
No.
Markin?
Considering the person he's replacing.
Okay.
That's what the person he's going against. It is going to be easy. It's Afenyo Markin. He runs commentary.
In your view?
Yeah, it's going to be easy. Afenyo Markin is one person that you just have to take your time and deal with decisively with the facts, because he doesn't trade in facts. So you just have to find ways and trade in facts. So that is not the issue.
That's not fair.
That is very, very unfair statement.
That's
very
not
unfair
fair.
statement.
That's not fair.
But you know, when I ask you to let him withdraw, you say no.
No, but
so I've kept quiet.
No, but yeah, you see, but
Okay.
did you prompt me this time?
Oh, okay.
Umar, you see, so yes.
That's an unfair statement.
Which one?
More especially when he's not even here.
This table.
When he's not even here.
The inconsistency of the
Hamza, you said the minority leader doesn't trade in facts.
Yes.
I don't think that's fair.
Well, but he told you people that Ken of Writer was coming home.
No.
Did he come home?
I'm saying that it is not
He
fair.
gave you a date
Is
and
it
month.
his responsibility to?
No, I'm saying that.
No, but he gave you a date and month.
Hamza, you see, you are my in-law.
Oh,
just say,
Umar,
just say
why?
that you withdraw that part. Let's proceed.
No, I can't.
Okay.
With the greatest of
That's fine. Proceed.
You see, and so for us, when we heard that Ayerga was being moved, these were the questions that we're asking. But then again, remember that one time he was even the presidential spokesperson to President Mills.
Yeah.
Indeed, he was spokesperson to flag bearer Mills even before President Mills became president. And traveled to every part of this country and has the geography, the political geography of this country on his palm as spokesperson to flag bearer Mills and subsequently as spokesperson to President Mills. It was as a result of that contribution that led to him losing his seat in that election, 2008, if you remember. Nobody who knows the politics of the Honorable Ayerga can sit around this table and question his conversance with the local government administration. Absolutely not.
He came back to Bill.
Do you understand?
Sakande, please.
Sanda. So, look, indeed, his introduction into government is one way of injecting even activism, more activism.
Very well.
And leadership. No, don't do this.
Hamza, you don't
You had the time.
No, I didn't. I was not giving up. So, but let me learn in 30 minutes.
Please. 30 minutes.
30 seconds.
1 hour, 2 hours.
Yes. So, for me, that is quite exciting to have Mahama Ayerga in there.
Okay.
Because one of the experienced appointees in this administration is the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. I think he's the longest serving cabinet minister.
Yeah.
Ayerga is likely to be amongst the first 3-4 as far as cabinet is concerned in terms of experience. So it is needed, especially at this critical. Yeah, he's one of them. That's what I'm saying. Ayerga is likely to be the 3rd, 4th. So we need such people in parliament. And if you talk about the likes of Dr. Zaato, nobody can question her competence and her service as far as the National Democratic Congress is concerned. And her distinguished personality. That even goes beyond partisanship. And so you need such people to occupy positions. And for many of us who are adherents of the philosophy of his dad, we also feel that it is in a way an honor and a challenge to her to reflect and manifest the principles of the late dad. And so we are waiting to see. Right. But I have absolute confidence in her.
You didn't have the mother.
Oh, I am on record. And I have not changed my position on it. That the NDC cannot write its history without the rule of Konadu. And regardless of the differences we had with her, Konadu, even in death, remains one of the success stories of the National Democratic Congress. We cannot run away from that fact.
Thank you, Hamza. Let me hear from Duncan. I want you to comment on this and also open the conversation for us on the government's intervention in the petroleum sector.
Okay, Sandra, thank you. Indeed, a reshuffle. We had this long ago. We had this time without number. Fortunately, there seemed to be the list coming out. The indication you get is that it is not a government that would drag feet when it has to do something. One expected that, of course, after the demise of the famous 8, through that tragic incident, let me pay my condolences to their families, of course. This week turned a year since that incident, and it has been observed as such. For most people, it would have meant that immediate replacement. I heard calls earlier that the Defense Ministry cannot be allowed to operate the way it did. What we forgot was that the security apparatus of the state did not get to zero because you did not have a substantive defense minister. Again, a caretaker minister was even put in place to ensure that whatever needed to be done at the ministerial level was done. So for me, to wake up to now the filling of those positions, and then again, you also have some substantive ministries or ministers move to other places, whilst the front of parliament, which is the leader, also get a substantive ministerial job. It only tells you that it is a government that probably has a fair idea what it wants to do, and it is doing it according to its own time. The usual cliche you really heard out there was that President Mahama wasn't, somebody who could just take his own decisions, and that oftentimes what he says he will do, he doesn't do them. But when you see this type of list coming out, it tells you that, look, he knows what exactly he's doing. He has a fair idea who he puts where. He would assess their competencies, he would assess their abilities to deliver, to be able to put these people out there. And I can only comment that unlike you had seen previously, where even the front of parliament had requested the former government or administration to carry out a reshuffle, particularly on the ex-finance minister, Kenneth Oriata. This has been done. We did not see that amount of decisiveness with the former government. And so it gives you hope that indeed, if you come in as an appointee, it does not become your bona fide property to think that I'm going to last the whole 4 years with the president, because Ghanaians did not vote for a minister. We vote for a president, and that's why he has a structured term. But as a minister, who the president would need to serve in a certain role, probably for a time period, everybody is dispensable, and the government has made that obviously clear. And I am happy that indeed the chairs is rearranging. Some of the people that would also want to see either out or coming in will remain in our heads until probably we see the end of this whole reshuffle thing. I don't know if this list you saw would be the end of it, but if there's more to come, I'm sure it will be fair to assess the entire reshuffle when the process is concluded. But for now, I do think that the president has been decisive. He's clear in his mind, he's clear in his thinking and outlook, what he wants to do. He's done so. We can only look forward to these new persons who are coming in and the roles assigned, assess them after probably 3-6 months in office and see whether they bring anything new or refreshing to the roles designated them. But until then, and until this whole reshuffle process that has clearly begun terminate at some point, I would hasten to say that they will do the work, they won't do the work. These are people who are clearly time-tested. But the roles they have been assigned, they have not been time-tested with those roles, particularly the incoming defense minister. He used to be the deputy defense minister. So probably he's tasted what it meant to be at that ministry. But he's never been a defense minister. So it's not as though you can blueprint or benchmark his competencies with anything you have seen previously. And so I would say that, well, let's go through the process of, Parliament interviewing them. And of course, once they get into office, whatever they add to the government and they add to the livelihoods of the people that operate within those sectors for which they have been appointed, we should be able to assess them, fairly and fearlessly. So, Thunder, it's good that the government is making it clear to appointees that nobody really holds any office in situ. I don't know what that means legally, but you don't hold the office in perpetuity until probably you are tired or until. But I mean, the president can hire, fire.
Thank you.
Displace, replace, reassign, and all of that.
Thank you, Duncan. Talk to me about diesel. We don't have a lot of time, so talk to me about diesel in 3 minutes so we can. Yes.
Sanda, I have said time without number that the country continues to operate on autopilot as far as your fuel situation is concerned. When we decided to go for the deregulation program in June 2015, which came into effect 1st of July 2015, where government said, I do not have any further subsidies to provide for petroleum pricing and its overruns or whatever. And so I am taking my hands off pricing and I'm going to allow the factors or forces of demand and supply to determine at the pumps how much you pay for fuel. Initially, we were skeptical at COPEC that, well, what if you find a situation where the oil marketing companies sit in one room and decide that let's sell 40 Ghana cedis, because now government says, I would not have any role to play. And so set your own prices, buy, sell for full cost recovery plus margin or markup. We were skeptical as to how it will pan out. But over the years, it's been a fiercely competitive market that has delivered, leaders. At one time, Gold is leading. Another time, Star Oil comes atop. Gold comes back again. It tells you that, look, it is an evolving market. What we observed the past 1 month was a trend of rises in fuel prices. Initially, we were doing about 12 for petrol. Diesel was around 14, 16. Then within a pricing window, it shoots up to about 19.8, almost 20 Ghana cedis, just about 20 pesos shy of 19 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis. The government would clearly be worried because, again, a lot of these commercial transport operators, the big buses and the trucks that do long haulage, would definitely use diesel. And the rate of increases was pretty worrying. And so we were asking what the government would do. When I heard that the Felix Opusu-Kwakye, the Minister for Government Communications, was going to announce some measure to take off some 2 Ghana cedi on the cost of diesel per liter, I was happy. Sanda, I would not lie about it.
Okay.
The consumer
but it's going to burden the government and then indirectly burden us.
You see, Sanda, chicken and egg, something has got to give. If you do not find a way to halt the increases as a state, I have said and I would repeat, it is not only the people or the transport operators that would suffer the consequence of high fuel costs. The government itself, don't forget, I repeat, remains the single largest spender in the economy. The government will continue to fuel Article 71 office holders, will continue to fuel appointees, MMDCs, and people who have been asked to work for and on behalf of the government. And so the government will buy more fuel every single day than any single entity, company, or individual, right? So if prices go up, government will pay more. And I have said that it doesn't surprise some of us when government has to review their budgets every other year or every year.
Okay.
And then you see the figures going up. What they budgeted to spend 170 billion, you end up 192 billion. There are overruns. These overruns can be accounted for by some of these hikes in fuel prices, inflationary figures, and then again the forex exchange that you probably would have expected to manage. On the forex exchange, the government seemed to have done its bit, but on the fuel pricing bit, we've not come to the end of the woods yet.
Okay.
It still continues to increase, and something has got to give. Government has made an interim intervention of 2 cedis. I repeat that it is alone not sustainable. Government would need to activate buffers, would need to activate a strategic reserve program to ensure that, look, I can buy fuel to store when it's $500 a metric ton. When it goes up to 800 or 900 or it climbs to 1,000, I would have 500 that I put in. If I decide to even release that stock at 600 or 700, as a government, I'll be able to recoup the investment I put in, and I'll be able to sustain fuel prices. So this is what we've been calling for, and we think that whilst the government takes interim measures, it should look at the medium to long term, introducing a strategic reserve program so that the Ghanaian can at least have something to fall back on. The refineries seem to be working now, but I would advocate again that 5%, 10% of what the refineries process now, put it in a strategic reserve buffer, pay for it commercially, so that tomorrow when you wake up and there's a reason for which cargoes cannot come or prices have jumped from $800 to about $2,000, you can fall on these buffers.
Thank you so much, Duncan. Thank you.
That for us should be the way to
Thank you so much, Duncan Amoah. Larry, let me hear from you. If you could all do 1 minute each, I'll be happy, or 1.5 minutes.
On the fuel?
Yes, yes.
As in whether or not the...
So the government has decided to intervene. But the point is that should we allow the market to proceed on its own so that charge the realistic prices, or government should intervene, ultimately then we have to pay again a loan? There's a view that there's even a debt in there that we are actually accumulating.
Obviously, I mean, we're going to, with the cost of crude oil internationally, there's going to be some issues back here. And I think that, so government stepping in to say that, listen, I'm absorbing the 2%, sorry, 2 Ghana cedis is enough. I mean, it's good. However, what it means is that, I mean, there will be losses somewhere. Other sectors of the economy
will have to pay.
Will have to pay. And so let's just hope that the government knows what it is doing. And then so that at the end of the day, we wouldn't just feel the pain at another place where you have just try to, you know, take care of whatever it is that is immediate now. Thankfully, they mentioned that it's just for a month. And thereafter,
they may
review. They're also talking internationally, since the conflict eased a bit. I think the prices
Which
conflict?
The Iran-US. I know.
Don't respond to him.
I know he's going for Ukraine.
Don't respond to him. I need you to wrap up so I can.
Now that the conflict is, it's easing a bit. Or America says they've run out of what missiles and so on. So I think that things will.
Iran is now in trouble.
Let me hear from Dr. Zaato, please.
You know, things will ease a bit.
Well, I just want to say that, you see, I want to situate the intervention within the ideological bona fides of the NDC.
Zaato. Oh, this one too.
You will like what I'm saying.
The ideology of the NDC is
they are social democrats.
People's Party.
No, they are social democrats.
Yes.
And social democrats do not hesitate to intervene in the market if it is. They sometimes believe in the strong hand of the government to the invisible hands. It depends. So intervening and coming in with this alliance with whom they are
controlling market forces.
Larry, I'm saying that based on the ideological bona fides, it's not surprising that they would directly intervene in the market when they believe that is is good and is needed.
The
and
man
good.
just
So-
pull Hamza's head onto the table. He's
Yes,
about
yes.
to cut.
Yes, so no, so that is true. That's the fact. He would accept that. I said no. You believe NDC believes in intervening in the market directly or sometimes directly based on what it is. They are not. Let me say the opposite are the capitalists who will just believe that they let the market, the invisible hand decide. So I want to situate this intervention
Did you hear him?
within
The
that
capital-
ideological benefits. The second thing, look, I think we need to demystify fuel pricing in this country, and we have to do it once and for all. Look, by around February, January this year, fuel prices were barely making it below 10 cities. They were making it below 10 cities. The only reason why we are now here at the pain is because of the war with Iran and the US. That's the only reason.
How many kilometers?
Similarly, a similar thing was happening when the MPP came from when they were to go up to 2022 or 2021. The fuel prices were down. The reason why they rocketed, go to 23 or 24, so by 2024 and started falling, was also because of the war. Let's acknowledge that. If you refuse that, then you always find yourself having to deal with these issues. Acknowledge that, yes, your exchange rate and other national economy indicators like taxes, like the levies can impact, but they are, I would say, they are about 30 or 20%. The biggest mover, the biggest shock in this is or are those international factors that are way beyond your borders.
Yeah.
In geopolitical factors, the international political economic factors. Let's look Ghanaians in the face and tell them that, so that we don't poo-hoo them when they emerge, so that we don't trivialize them when they emerge, so that the Ghanaians will now understand, also pray for world peace, so that these critical routes where our fuel pass, if you don't do that, and then you only wait, when it suits you, you take your advantage. When it doesn't suit you, you now make it look like the other person is incompetent. That is where politicians run to these issues.
Thank you so much. Dr. Zaato has spoken for you. Today is NDC. Hamza.
No, that cannot be accurate. You should pay attention to what he just said.
He said that you did double standards.
Yes, and that cannot be. That cannot.
Okay, 1 minute, Hamza.
You give them 2 minutes. You are giving me 1 minute. Okay, I'll manage.
1 minute.
No, you give them 2 minutes. So why are you giving me 1 minute? Are you a member of the
MPP?
MPP?
Spending 1 minute to argue.
Is he? Oh, why?
No, please.
Hamza, strictly 1 minute, please.
No, I'm doing 2 minutes because you gave him 2 minutes. So let me do my 2 minutes. First of all, it is important for me to state that, you see, the NDC government, what is happening today is entirely different from what happened in 2022, especially in November. We have never said that international factors do not have consequences as far as our local economy is concerned. Nobody has ever made that claim in the NDC. Indeed, even if you see, let me make my point. Also, I'm going to jump into your time.
Okay. Sorry.
We've never claimed that it doesn't. Nobody in his right senses would say that international factors do not have an influence, an effect on local economy. What we have always said as a government is that if your fundamentals are good, you should even be able to deal with external shocks. And that is what this government is doing. Somewhere in 2022 November, when world market prices of crude was almost hovering around the same figure that we're hovering around, your exchange rate was about $1 to 17 Ghana cedis.
So 2 minutes is up.
It's time.
Oh,
It's
why?
yes.
Oh, no. How can you do that?
Because
it was about
my director is timing you. They say you
No. I have not even done 1 minute. That's not fair.
You wait.
That's not fair.
Let me hear from your colleague. I'll come back to you.
Oh, my brother, I will not accept this. Then my brother will not speak. Because what have I said? What have I said?
But if you
No,
spent all your 2 minutes, why
I don't know
you do
the
this?
agenda you are. I'm not going to do it. That's so unfair. That's so unfair. It's 55. That's 1 minute, yeah. 56.
We are not ending at 12.
And so 1 to 16. What we have control over is the exchange rate and also our macroeconomic indicators, the regulatory margins. We have been effectively dealt with the exchange rate. We are effectively dealing with the regulatory margins of 2 Ghana cedis.
You can't just be unfair to your senior brother. Please stop this.
Oh, but why are you doing this?
Please stop this. You can't be unfair to your brother. No, you see.
I'm not going to allow you. I'm here to represent my party. So if he's
let me also make. Okay, you let me speak. Then you can interject. You can interject.
I don't know why
you see, as politicians, we must be taken serious. Otherwise, the youth of this country may one day rise against politicians. We must be serious. This is a country where we had the current energy minister say that We are an oil-producing country, and for that matter, when the oil prices escalate internationally, we must rather gain. This is what the current minister told us. Now, we must be careful because the levies, you check the ex-refinery price, check the taxes, the levies, the margins. These are things that we put together in Parliament.
Umaru, he's 1 minute.
Is the president telling us that he can issue a caveat on just removing getting 2 cedis out of the price? Then I'm reminding him, electricity cost is high, water cost is high.
But they've still done
Can he issue that caveat as well?
No,
No, it's the ordinary Ghanaian. You are not an ordinary Ghanaian because you are enjoying in power. You are not an ordinary Ghanaian. This is unfair. You see, you told us, the president himself told us that you cannot mention Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia war as an excuse of the escalation of crude prices internationally. And today you are telling me because of Iran. Is Iran in Choco?
We end today's
Is Iran in
Choco?
Choco?
Hamza Suhuyini, Honorable Mireku, Larry Alans Dogbe, Dr. Joshua Zaato, and Duncan Amwa. I am Umaru Sandamadu. We'll be back next week with a big issue. Please stay with us.